Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to me having splotched my glasses. It's okay, that's what I keep this here for. Give me one moment, please. Okay. And now to meet the game. Nobody actually wants to hear the game anyways, right? That's just ancillary. What am I doing? Dunnage. Waiting. West of Nekataka. And Sayuka. Okay. Sing me a tune, lads. Or don't. That's cool, too. Good morning, Sonic Doctor. Good morning, Takoida. Hello, Korgoth. You don't get a good morning. Nah, okay, fine. You can get a good morning. I'll allow it.
We said or not, Perrin.
She bangs her fist on one of the crates. The dwarf man standing near her flinches as though she hit him.
I'd happily tell you if you stopped interrupting my count.
You've had days to count. Now it's time we talked about the price.
Careful. This one's got friends in the Consuelo.
Oh, god dang it. I was about to wonder, at some point or another, the rep I'm gaining with people is going to start hurting me.
In that case, I'll honor the original price. Consider that a discount among friends. Glad we could do business.
Well, that was easy. The smugglers load the crates onto your ship. Okay, let's go inspect the cargo. Where's my option to inspect the cargo? I'm not shipping stuff. I don't know what it is. I did not know that Black Valve, but that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm all in favor of scenarios or custom maps. I can make a Primus map. But of course, I would need that to actually come out on the Switch version for me to do that. Okay, so that goes to Sayuka. And that goes to Sayuka. So I need to... Oh, hang on. Sorry, you're probably wondering why I keep muting myself. It's because I'm talking to Lore Mom about Endgame. She got up really early and she's talking about it because she rather liked it. So, how the hell do I inspect my crew? I mean, honestly, there's got to be a way to do that, right? Right. Where's Sayuka? There's Sayuka. Well, let's head up here and see if any random events trigger, shall we? Good morning, Plouty. Thank you. God, I was about to say, wait, am I not going to get an option to look at my freaking crates? Yes, I did, Korgoth. A plump, middle-aged woman stands beside the crates, her clothing rumpled and her hair matted.
Gelarde, 23 days! This is a new record.
Congratulations, that's really great.
It is more than great. It is the successful test of my newest spell, Renove Miseris.
What?
Renewal of air, you would say. Kith have explored every mountain in the Eastern Reach, yet the realm of fish and leviathans remains close to us. It has been my dream to open these steps to discovery, to let Kith breathe as the fishes do. Or at least to let us use the air of a single breath again and again.
So, why go to Sayaka? Why leave the Republics?
Back home, they care only for profit, and there is little profit to be had in sticking your head in the glass bucket to watch the fish. But the Rawatayans, they have vision. They chase greater things than gold. So I go to work with them.
Okay, so what are you going to be working on at Sayaka?
Sintere, but I had promised not to say.
And so you hid in a crate.
Neither do I. At least it gave me plenty of time to test my work.
The... Okay.
Yes, I have much to do. Many more tests to run before we reach Sayuka. A pleasure talking, Captain.
Apparently I am transporting a person, but not as cargo. This is more of, this is more smuggling, well actually more like smuggling a, I guess a turncoat. You mean that abomination, Baron? I'm just kidding. I'm sure the Sonic movie will be great. Just like everything Sonic. Sonic. Easy answer. Yeah, your namesake had a movie trailer that went out today, Sonic. Doctor. Hey, Vigilant. Good morning. It would be interesting, comma, but I doubt it too, period. Would.
Sayuka at last. I must go. Discovery awaits. Agrasima, Captain.
Ishi's crap is harder to get out of leather than tar. This is the second time he's gotten my boots.
It's a phase. He's just trying to cozy up to you, Firefly.
Well, I was sneaking him some extra seeds. Can you make him target who he poops on? 'Cause I got someone in mind.
This sounds like a story. Tell me everything.
Now to put the viewers to sleep. Anyways, admittedly, we are dealing with a different company with a different budget, but if I could be so bold, I would also say that the Detective Pokemon movie, whatever, the one that's coming out next week, was done with a completely different intent than the Sonic one. The Sonic one is basically, let's do a live-action Sonic film. The Pokemon one is more like, what would it be like to have an everyday story about Pokemon done in live action? At least that's the impression I get. And you kind of get the the gist of the variance there in intent. It's funny, too, because the Pokemon one, despite arguably being far less realistic, feels far more believable than the Sonic one. And that's doubly funny since there's tons and tons of Pokemon in the Pokemon one, and only one inhuman thing in the Sonic one. So, whatever, basically.
Leave it to me.
Welcome to Sayuka.
Hi. And bye. Yeah, I actually legitimately like Gangster's Paradise, the song, but it's worth noting that that song is messed up. Like, the main point of that song is just how bad that life was, and how much of a struggle it was, and how much it was just a whole messed up situation, especially since the general point there, at least in my interpretation, was that there was no escape from it. There's a line about, something like, I'm 23, but will I see 24? The way I'm going right now, I don't know. It's... Yikes.
Artillery trajectory calculations. Terribly tedious and lamentably imprecise in a storm. But the numbers distract me. Where are my manners? You must be the watcher the Hazanui sent.
Indeed.
You found me with a rare spare moment.
Yeah, he asked me to deliver some cargo to you.
I've received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
I say nothing about the smugglers. Okay, sure, whatever.
Well, I've received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
The Hazanui didn't say I'd be ferrying human cargo.
Why would she? You're a courier.
She stares at you in genuine bewilderment.
In any event, the Hazanui's missive suggested you might be able to help us with an issue at port.
Alright.
You may have noticed the outsized coral in the harbor. There's something unnatural about the coral's growth. About everything on this island. And no matter how we trim it back, it only grows larger. My engineers deduced that the origin of this disturbance is somewhere off the coast of Sayuka, and I'd like you to investigate. Talk to Avera in the workshop if you care to learn more. I would be grateful for your help here, Watcher.
I was just thinking that, Takoida. Why would you settle here? If that... whatever. If I had to pick a 90s song for the Sonic movie, I assume it has to be pop culture. Since, if we're being honest, the whole point of Sonic the Hedgehog, at least as he was originally marketed, was that he was the 90s attitude to the more wholesome Mario over at Nintendo. That was also when Nintendo was trying to have that wholesome appearance in general. For good and for bad, if we're being honest. I mean, on the plus side, it's a good song, Sonic. The plus side, it led us to get a lot of really good games. On the downside, some of the censorship got pretty weird. Anyways, probably the most infamous example being Mortal Kombat on the SNES, which was not good. So, and that's why the Genesis version of that was better. It's funny, the Genesis thing in general was going for the edgy thing. I mean, you remember Toe Jam and Earl? Or, there's another one. And their whole thing was, we don't care, that whole dude thing. What song would I pick? See, the problem is, I don't know a lot of 90s pop music. Yeah, let's just Google this really quick here. 90s music. What do we got? If not for the fact that Shrek had taken it, I would go with All Star. As much as I don't really care for that song, it kind of fits the overall tone and pace of what Sonic was going for. Or Eitri. That's a good song. I like that song. Thank you very, very much, Eitri. Much appreciated as always. If there's any future stream you're interested in that you'd like to put that towards, just let me know. I also have to admit, there was another one. I just saw it. Where was it? Livin' La Vida Loca. That might actually fit a little bit better. That kind of pseudo-crazy partying kind of a thing. I feel like that could kind of slide into Sonic reasonably well. But Gangsta's Paradise? Of all songs? Really? Like I'm actually looking at a list of best-selling songs from the 90s. And on this list, I think, because Gangsta's Paradise is on it, I think that would probably be still the least one I would pick for that. I would literally pick Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, over Gangsta's Paradise. Just, what the hell were they thinking? Plus, that can't be cheap to license, or maybe it is nowadays. I don't know. Anyways, E319 is putting it towards Dying Light 2. I know Livin' La Vida Loca is based on a she, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I think it would work. If you want a ridiculous answer, Whitney Houston, and I will always, yeah, you know that song. No, I just realized, as I closed the window, I just realized the perfect song from the 90s that was popular for Sonic the Hedgehog. And I mean this sincerely. Can't touch this. See you around, Eitri. Have fun with the Raiden.
You are welcome in Sayuka, traveler, as surely as the winds stir the sea.
No, no, no. How many times must I demonstrate the proper way to greet a visitor?
I say, I must have forgotten again. Will you remind me of the line, Under Secretary?
I mean, it would add to the cheesiness, but it's a Sonic the Hedgehog film. Why wouldn't you go cheesy with it? Now, I would argue that if you were genreing it, it should probably be slotted as a comedy. I don't know what they're actually going for.
We say clear skies, traveler. Simple, elegant, and no smiling. Do you understand, Greeter Tebe?
Can you repeat it once more? I want to make sure I've got it. Questions, traveler?
No, we're good. Oh yeah, and of course they're portraying Sonic as basically being the Flash, which actually I'm okay with, but that's a difficult thing to do because the moment you give your character that level of speed, it becomes difficult to challenge them. Yeah, and Jim Carrey as Robotnik, which is funny, because actually, probably the only positive thing I have to say about it was him as Robotnik half the time. The other half the time he was just obnoxious. Now, it's probably worth noting that I don't actually care for Jim Carrey's style or approach to humor in general, so, you know, grain of salt.
Oh, greetings. Might I help you with something?
Nope. Sorry, I'm looking for someone specific. Like a stray cat.
Oi, Cap. There he be. There be Romero. Sure as my arse be blue.
Wait, what? Okay.
I wish you'd not come, my lad. Pleased though I be to see you. Even Aldi's anarchists spare no mercy for mutineers.
Aye, but you, a traitor? The very thought of it be ludicrous. Return with us. I'll be protecting you, and we'll be seeing of your fair judging.
I can't, Blue. Much as I loathe to leave. I'm dead to these waters, and they to me.
Break my biscuits and call me Swabby. You've gone addled in your dotage, ain't you? Captain, unsheathe that silvered tongue of yours and talk some damn sense into this old sort.
So why would you leave the Principe? Nah, that's a bad question. Why would you leave Fort Deadlight? You might have been safe there.
I couldn't bear to remain, sheltered or no. It's a hopeless feeling, bearing witness to the slow decline of something I once held such pride in.
There still be pride to be had. Honor, too. Things be changing sure as shit, but you can't thread them narrows if you ain't even at the wheel.
I hope I'm wrong, if only for your sake. I don't think the Principe can survive as is, and I can't watch something I devoted my life to sink into ruin.
Also, as an aside, if the Sonic movie is actually good, that would be astonishing. It wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong about a film like that. But usually when the signs are this blatant... it's like, what if Sonic Boom was actually good? Well, it wasn't. Why would you want to leave the Principe?
The Principe have changed, and not for the better. Once, we aligned behind a common purpose. Now, we fractured into two extremes, each wallowing in its own corruption.
So where would you go?
My crew, those few souls who followed me from the Sorcerer, and I set sail for lands west. The Reach, perhaps, or the Living Lands. Perhaps we'll run trade from Edir or Valia. Wherever fortune leads.
But that be the far fucking side of Aora.
Ak, a journey and a half, to be certain.
Is it true what you've been accused of?
I've not heard every charge against me. But that of mutiny, of that charge, I bear guilt.
Why? The Sorcerer were our own and kin. We're our cock-swelling pride. And you bartered it to an half-drowned old elf for a pint-bilged fucking clipper? 14 years I spent swabbing them decks. Longer yet for you. Captain Bastion trusted you. I trusted you.
Ak, bon amico, sientere, Seraphin. I've disappointed you, hurt you. No words can justify my actions. I only hope you believe me, that I did what needed doing.
How can I?
So what are you hiding?
Ak, that I am. Many things. For many reasons. I learned long ago that it's oft-times better to hold your tongue.
The Watcher here reminded me that you and me, we be deeper than two hands on a deck. We be kin. You be the closest thing I've ever had to a father. And if you be setting sail, I'll be embarking with you.
Your journeys with this Watcher have changed you, Blue. You wear it well, bon amico. Captain Bastion had the Sorcerer slaving.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm with you.
Slaving? What kind of fathom-headed hornswoggle be this? The Sorcerer were my kin. They weren't slaving. I hunted slavers for the captain. We freed slaves together.
So I also believed. But Bastion sold those we saved to the Crooksburg slavers. I found records of it in his quarters almost a decade's worth. When I confronted him, it went poorly.
For the record, we don't sell the slaves we rescue. I just want to make that very clear. Sand beneath your feet, crusted and blooded. You young and small, filthy and shaking in fright. Cheers from all corners. Jeers, too, and the shouts of kith before you. Amua, and thrice your height. Heavy muscle and soft fat wrapped in bright robes. Don't make me go again, you plead. Don't make me. His heavy hand sends you sprawling to the sand in a chorus of jubilant applause. You bounce to your feet as the other slave boy approaches. You feel his thoughts, a tickle in the back of your mind. His fear greater than your own. But what can you do? Only one can live. You silence everything but the anger, but the hate, and it propels your snapping teeth and grasping hands. The blows light but fast, and the other youth all screams.
Sientere, bon amico. Forgive me.
So Seraphin used to be a slave, too.
I meant you not to know. To keep your faith in our traditions. To remain optimistic. a bright star within the Principe.
Seraphin? What would you do with him, Seraphin, knowing this?
Cut him loose, Cap. Aye, he did the Deadfire a fine turn by sinking them slavers. But among the Consuelo, mutiny means death. Bet Guanfer a no.
You won't leave this island alive! Why is that an option? We'll leave you be, Romaro.
Agrasima, Watcher. The Clipper will be loaded soon, and then we'll be away. Cores, Seraphin. Bon amico. Take this. May you have rare cause to use it. I hope we meet again someday. On calmer seas.
Cores, bon amico.
Yeah, Neverwinter Nights, Suncrest. I know that doesn't count. Because you're not really, it doesn't really matter if you choose not to follow a god. It's just, you don't follow God. Okay, whatever. Doesn't change anything. I'm not sure I can come up with another one. I'd have to think about that. So that was horrible.
You be boring a hole in me with them eyes, Cap. I'd offer an oboe for your thoughts, but I prefer not to make deals I ain't got no intention to keep.
I could say the same of you. Are you doing okay, Seraphim?
I'd be fine, actually. Strange though it be.
Hey, I'll listen.
I'm not sure there'd be much to say, Captain.
You just found out you were inadvertently aiding this trade of slaves. That couldn't have felt good.
Oh, Cap, didn't feel at all good. What brilliant you are. Sorry about that. Weren't fair to you.
Listen, really, I'm deeply sorry you had to experience that. If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
I be appreciating the sentiment.
Now shut your ballast hole! God, why is there a cruel option even available there? We need to tell the Consuelago about Bastion's slaving. You know, set the record straight.
Aye, Cap. Much as I hate's an honest word, some truths ain't for burial at sea. And despite it all, Cap, I'll be right glad to be serving with you.
Yeah, one of their definitions of a CRPG is that it's long. I suppose the expansions to Neverwinter Nights 1 were kind of short. You know, it's only a few days investment, if you know what you're doing and you're blazing through it and cheating. Yeah, it doesn't mean much, does it? Yeah, you know what's funny is Sonic's face doesn't bug me that much. It's his body that bothers the crap out of me. You can tell there's a guy in a suit there, and it's just, it's basically a human being that all of a sudden has a deformed head tossed on it, and that just makes it hit Uncanny Valley, which makes it look awful, in my opinion, of course. Workshop. There it is. I don't think, like, atheism ever comes up in Elder Scrolls, though. Like, obviously you can not be a follower of any Daedra or any of the Adra, or the Nine, or anything else, but, you know, I don't think it ever matters. Hi, Adam. Good evening.
This area is strictly off-limits to non-company personnel. What are you doing here?
The trailer went live today, Sanchrist.
Calma, amico. Is this not the casita your Azanui said she would send?
That would be me.
Praise be. The coral in the harbor is growing out of control, and we've found no way to stop it. We're at our wits' end. I've surmised that a magical disturbance must be the source of the problem. So far as I can tell, the most likely candidate is a strange magical signature emanating from someplace off the southeast coast of the island, deep beneath the sea.
The Huana's records show that an ancient Nguithan ruin, Signath Mor, once stood at that approximate location. I do not doubt that something in that ruin is the source of the trouble. Perguono, take this. It is my masterpiece, Ak.
Okay.
The helmet should allow you to breathe underwater for time enough to deal with the disturbance, provided, of course, that you hurry.
The Royal Deadfire Company thanks you for your assistance, Watcher.
And your bravery. Aura Taugori!
Uh-huh. Hang on, now you got me curious. Twitter reactions to Sonic trailer.
We're under attack! Hold them off while I tell the others! Hurry! They're just outside the gate!
Okay. What?
An old salt swaggers in with a ship's wheel sticking out of his pants.
It's driving him nuts?
New swabby be asking a first mate. Do galleys like this be sinking often?
Usually it's just the ones. Even Ishi knows that one.
Oh, gods, lass, you be no fun at all.
Try this.
That's not very helpful.
We're being attacked by druids, bears, and boars. Interesting. Oh god, he has teeth. I never even noticed the teeth. I mean, I guess he always had teeth. So, make of that what you will. Yeah, his eyes are too small. His mane is too big. His nose is... I can live with his nose. His teeth are all wrong. His body is completely wrong. I stand by my statement. His body is the biggest thing that bothers me about Sonic. Just, what in the world?
Out my wheelhouse, friend.
Wait, what are we in combat with? Where's the enemies? I don't see any enemies. Oh, there they are. Get him. Hey, Salty Panda Bear. What he said.
Right between the eyes.
Oh god, I remember Goomba from the old Mario Brothers movie. And enough said, I suppose. Stop giving me more quests. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I wanted to have a bit of a discussion. We can't have it right now because we're about to have a cutscene. Probably Baron. I get all my questions on Tumblr. So down here.
I'm told you were instrumental in our stand against the Druids. Well done. The Druids have harried us from the moment we made landfall.
Your people fought admirably.
For a bunch of pencil-twiddling engineers, you mean? Several days ago, I dispatched a small force to quell them, but I've heard nothing of them since. To be frank, I suspect they were killed.
Well, that's horrible.
And I no longer have enough people to repel another attack. We Rowattians are tougher than most, but we're engineers all the same. We weren't trained to fight. Given your impressive showing in our hour of need, I'd hoped I might impose on you with a request for aid.
Go on.
Go to the bog where I sent my people. You'll find the Druids' leaders there, no doubt. Kill them. Should you do so, the Royal Deadfire Company would stand in your debt. And I would be immensely grateful.
Yeah.
Have you actually visited? Which lands? No, wait. What was the strangest thing you ever saw?
Found an island with a pillar of Adra carved into a giant foot.
God, what a thrill. You're so well traveled. It's amazing. But don't you ever miss home? What about your loved ones?
Aside from my family, anyone special to me is already here, Firefly.
Well, that's... You see, I mean, same for me. I thought I'd miss my brethren more, but having someone who understands me, it's a surprising relief.
Yes, give in to the flirt. With each passing moment, you make yourself more... Well, I guess there's no servant thing going on there, so, more her girlfriend. It doesn't quite have the same impact to it. Anyways, so I do want to talk about something. For real, I do have a topic. And, but I do want to answer Lycon really quick. See, yes, but at the same time, if the only defense that the Sonic movie can manage is, well, the Pikachu movie is just that much better, I don't think that's really much of a defense, is it? I mean, money is obviously a thing, and we do need to acknowledge that. But at the same time, effort is a thing, too. Remember, most of my actual issues, and I've talked about this already, most of my issues with the Sonic trailer that we've seen are a matter of choice, style choice, and approach, not how good or bad the graphics look, or how, you know, polished it looks, or whatever, right? I gotta admit, the odds of me seeing the Sonic movie in the theaters are practically non-existent. Unless you guys want me to whenever it comes out. When does it come out? But, I would be curious to watch it at some point, you know, just to see how bad or good or whatever it is. November. So yeah, we got a while to think about that. We'll set up another Voot like the one we have going right now.
I got this.
I can just picture sitting there in the theater being like... Anyways, so like I said, I have a topic. And I want to talk about it before we get to our next cutscene. Nope, too late. Joker, we're probably just going to go ahead and see. I don't think that's going to be much of a question.
You cozy up to the awful vines. I'll find a way around.
I do like awful vines.
Got someone in my sights.
You see that? How you like that? Show him how it's
You
done.
gonna heal him? Nope. Never healed him. Wow. Those are just murdering me.
Another withers on the vine. Moeth, Ixie, on We're not done yet. Breathe through leak.
Where's Ishi?
There's no need for that. Breathe through leak now.
Anyways, topic. So, joking aside, I haven't gotten bored yet with this game. Now, I'm sure that's not true for you guys. I apologize for that, but to me, that is actually a... Is that a bear cub?
Consider it done.
Bear cub! Where's the bear cub? Where's the bear cub? Bear cub. That's actually pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and bring out the bear cub. Sorry, kitty. Now we're gonna go back and rest, because that fight took a lot out of us. Holy crap. I've talked about the concept before. I've been asked the question, Laura, don't you think it's unfair on longer games that longer games will invariably tackle up more positives over the course of the game? Because they're longer, there's more stuff there, and thus more opportunities to gain positives. And it was a very valid question. I don't want to pretend in any way that it wasn't. But what I find most interesting about it is that, to me, that's just part of the thing, right? Let me explain what I mean by that. If a game doesn't get boring, doesn't manage, like a longer game is going to have more opportunities for positives and negatives, as Zalok just mentioned. And it's also going to have more possibility of the game eventually dragging on me, right? If the content gets stale, or they don't really know what to do with the finale, or the combat is old, or whatever, right? There's a lot of different ways in which a game will slowly start to drag the longer it is. Even a game I legitimately enjoy, and I'll use a direct example here, Dragon Quest VII, which is a game I legitimately enjoy. By the time I was at about hour 100 in that, my overall save file was like 120 hours or something like that, I was just like, ugh. You know, after I was like, okay, let's just go, let's go. Let's get to the next story point, come on, right? So a long game, because this is our 6th day, I think, at this point, of streaming this one. I'm pretty sure this is day 6. Yep. And I'm still not really bored of it. I will admit, I am actually, like I said, I'm kind of going out of my way not to accept new quests at this point, because this is day 6 of streaming this game. But I do feel like the fact that it hasn't actually gotten old yet is an interesting concept to be digested. I can name quite a few long games where basically I have to put them down for a bit before I go back to them, because at a certain point I'm just like, yeah, alright, whatever. Come on, let's go. And I was curious if you guys could think of any games where, where it's a long game that you do enjoy, but you either have to pause it at some point or another, you know, and come back to it, you know, get a breather, basically. Or you just kind of quit at a certain point because it's like, yeah, alright, whatever. And I can actually name an example of that right off the top of my head. Oblivion. Now, I actually really like Oblivion. It is easily my favorite Elder Scrolls game, and among my favorite WRPGs, and among my favorite RPGs in general, despite its massive flaws. But that being said, there's a reason why at a certain point in playing through Oblivion, I get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm just going to make a Doom spell, and just kind of start pushing through everything. In fact, I even did that for the roleplay, if you're paying attention.
There's a better way to handle this. Give me a...
You know, I just started making really, really overpowered spells and just being like, yeah, I'm just going to bowl through this and focus on the character aspects of things. And this game, no, I can see that. I can't even imagine. If we were actually trying to 80% this game, which is doing all the primary content, whew, yeah.
Hit me again and I'll hit you back.
That's not very helpful.
I'll teach you a lesson. How do you like that?
Witcher 3 didn't bother me either, but it's probably worth noting I've never played Witcher 3 all the way through without cheating, and I never will. Unless it comes out on the Switch. I know what you're thinking. Why not, Lore? Wow, that is a high-level thing.
Try this.
Because I don't really have time for a game like Witcher 3, and the next time I play it... What are you doing, dude? The next time I play it, I would be playing it for the stream, for the lore run, which will be cheating during. So... Oh, nice.
I got this. I got this.
We have saved another cat. It's our goal. It's our real goal this playthrough. Save all the pets. I think we've gotten quite a few of them. The GTAs, so I will freely admit that Vice City and 3 both got old for me at a certain point. However, it's also probably worth noting that Vice City and 3 are actually not really that good at games. Like, they were still figuring out the whole 3D thing. And there were issues. Issues with mission design, issues with collision, issues with driving, issues with the guns, just issues. I actually was replaying GTA 3 semi-recently, very, very briefly, of course, just to test it, to see if it was in a streamable format. And You remember the driving physics in GTA 3? Just picture it real quick, right? Now picture, if you remember, the driving physics in GTA 3 while it's raining. I once heard a speedrunner comment that in GTA 3, driving while it's raining on the grass is basically like driving around on melting butter while you're driving around on ice. Like your tires are made of melted butter and the ground is ice. And that's pretty accurate. Anyways.
Your every step fouls the ground. Why do you pollute this sacred place?
Well, I already want to kill you. Of course I did, Sangrist. In fact, I got that back in Wrath, I want to say. Whenever it first came out. You know, before they added the other zones and expansions to it. Don't worry, I got all those quests done, too. I've come to end your conflict with the Royal Deadfire Company.
The Rawatayan invaders trespassed upon our sacred ground and ignored our overtures. The fault for this conflict lies not with us.
Why should we believe you are any different?
I'm a druid.
Eloquent though your words may be, they will build no peace between us and the invaders. They or we must leave this island, and we shall not be moved.
I'll kill the Fleet Master for you. What? That's a hell of a turnaround. Just out of nowhere, I will kill you. I love how my only options are, but if I kill them, the entire company will be after me. Or, I will do as you command. Or, I refuse. Or, attack them. There's no good option there.
What fun are calm seas?
Only a fool sets sail and doesn't expect to weather a storm or two, trespasser. Decide now. Will you protect this place? Are you with us?
What?
I knew you were a charlatan. Kill her!
I'll die.
Not exactly what I was.
That escalated very quickly. Like, disturbingly quickly. You gonna heal me, Jyoti? I mean, I know that we're not a thing, but you're gonna heal me, right? Don't worry, they're feeding the land now. I mean, I'm not exactly in favor of the Royal Deadfire Company, but these people are dumb. Just, what the hell is wrong with you people?
Give me a real challenge.
That'd be funny if it actually worked that way upon a time. Anyways. Summer, spring, winter, autumn. Go seasons! Well, the good news is, now that we have Maya in the party on a regular basis, hopefully she'll be like, oh my god, you're super hot, or whatever. Whatever it takes for people to be romantically connected to. I don't even know anymore. The season of death. Wouldn't that be my season? Probably not, Baron, no. It's not a very good show. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as far as content. It's just not good.
Anything good lately?
A riveting essay on the properties of illusion. Oh, and Catabalt's treatise on the finer points of corrosives.
Ah, glad I asked.
Oh god, Casual, that would be great. Alright, so let's go talk to her. And turn in this quest. And not get another one. What was it? Red Dead Redemption 2, I think, was our longest premiere run ever. Sorry, getting back to the length of a game topic. And Zaluk mentioned something, actually, really quick. Zaluk mentioned that the longer the game is, the more it magnifies the plus and minus system, and I agree. But I don't think that's unfair.
Of course you follow me. They all do.
I don't think that's unfair. I think that's actually a valid thing. Because, to me, that just makes it more accurate, if that makes any sense. Like, let's say there's a game that's really short and not very good. So it's like, well, it's not very good, whatever. But because it's so short, and because you just kind of plow through it, it doesn't really linger. By contrast, let's say there's a game that's not very good, that just kind of goes on and on and on and on and on, and you're gonna be more negatively impacted by that, right? Like, that's going to be effectively a worse game because of the fact that it's not just bad, it's bad, 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 bad. You know, it just keeps going on and on and on, right? That was one of the biggest problems I had with with Octopath Traveler, for example. Yeah, Sonic 06 is a good example of a bad game that probably would be a lot more tolerable if it was about a fifth the length, and instead is not. And so it just drags and drags, and it just kind of gets worse and worse the more you go into it. And of course, the reverse is true as well. And that's why I brought up Red Dead Redemption 2. The gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2 never stopped bothering me. Even ignoring the obvious camera issues, I still can't believe they never patched that in. The fact of the matter was the game, in my opinion, didn't control very well and wasn't very fun to actually play. Now, the story offset that, but that's, again, my point. The reason that game ended up with barely, I think it was actually like a net neutral when it comes to gameplay, and many, many positives when it came to story, was because the story of Red Dead Redemption 2 never got old for me. It misstepped, of course, and it had issues. Here's another massive gunfight with 50 guys that we just miraculously get through. But the overall writing did maintain its quality throughout, and thus the positives kept stacking up, right? Anyways. So Vigilant donates, and he says... And Vigilant is apparently cosplaying as one of the stupid neutral druids we were just interacting with. I'm not sure which of those I'm going to pick. I think I'll just kill everything. Is that cool? We cool with that? Well, FF10... I could see why you'd feel that. Let me just start with that upon a time. Now, I don't agree personally, but I will also say that FF10 has the same problem that virtually every Final Fantasy game has. It stumbles at the finish line, or at the finale, or however you want to think. Like, almost every FF game has a point, and it's usually right towards the end of the game, where it just kind of just dives off in quality. I could name maybe... I'm going to say 3 FFs that bypass that. I'd have to think about that more to really go into that. But virtually every... FF4 has that problem. FF8 has that problem. FF9 has that problem. FF10 has that problem. FF12 has that problem. FF12 is probably the worst example in my opinion, but that's because they literally ran out of development time and had director issues and... Yikes. Anyways, point being... so I could see that. Like, I know a lot of people really love the mountain, Mount Gagazet, but for me, pretty much the moment you hit Mount Gagazet, like, the game just starts going, ugh. Okay, time to go through Mount Gagazet. And then Zanarkand, ugh. Let's keep going, you know. Anyways, thank you, Vigilant. Thank you very, very much, as ever. I do appreciate your donation, and I've put that towards Jedi Academy. Bevel, yeah, that's another one. Now, Baron said, even 6. Well, there's no way I can say something positive about FF6 without sounding biased, but I actually don't think FF6 had the nosedive in the end. The world of Ruin, in general, is certainly an unusual thing story-wise, and there's no denying that. But it's so much more character-focused, and it zooms in the camera substantially, and is all about individual stories or individual people, that it works for me. It doesn't all work, there are some issues in the world of Ruin, but for the most part I'm with it. Kefka's Tower is also a brilliantly designed dungeon, in my opinion, both in terms of its enemy encounters and in terms of its overall layout and style. And the final Kefka fight is phenomenal, and the final Kefka encounter is phenomenal. So, no, I would say FF6 actually bypasses that problem, personally. I would also say FF5 bypasses that, personally. But, and 7's the other one, if you're wondering. 5, 6, 7 are the 3 right off the top of my head that I would say kind of bypass the screws up at the end problem. Not intentionally, Korgoth, but yes, that is correct. Yeah, FF5 never really stops building up. I agree with that. FF5, from basically the moment you start the game and the intro plays, and you find out that everything's starting to go bad, is a slow escalation until we finally go into the realm of nothingness and go after Exdeath. Now, I actually agree with the disjointed comment, Leander, because each of those stories is completely disconnected. And I mentioned this in a previous review, I would probably give a negative to FF6 for walkthroughitis in the World of Ruin. Maybe. I haven't decided that yet. But that's because FF6, once you get to the World of Ruin, if you know where to go, sure. But if you don't, you're just kind of roaming around randomly, right? If you know where to go, all of the story bits are, in my opinion, excellent. And I stand by that statement firmly. But because I was actually thinking this out, you go through the initial stuff, you get to the point where you get the airship leads you straight to Miranda leads you straight to Zozo. Once you're through Zozo, you get Cyan, the beginning of his story arc there, and then he gives you a straight leap to Gao. Gao can lead you to either Shadow or Realm. But after that, there's nothing. There's no breadcrumbs. There's no trail to follow. It's just go places. Now, we could argue that back and forth, and we will once we ever do an in-depth classic of FF6. But point remaining, I do get where you're coming from, Leander.
I hope your effort to resolve the coral situation is meeting with success.
Yeah, they're super dead.
Excellent. You are as dependable as I've been told to expect. Now we can begin logging in earnest. Regarding your reward, we seized a cache of weapons from a gang of pirates we caught sniffing about Sayuka. Of course, we only use regulation weaponry here, so I'd appreciate it if you'd take these off my hands before one of my engineers does something foolish with them.
Sure. Thanks.
You found me with a rare spare moment.
Bye. Now that's interesting, Zlok, that you say that. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but I've gone out of my way to start listing how many hours and days that I have played a given game for a premiere run. And that's part of why is exactly what you were talking about, Zlok. To showcase how long or short a given game is. At least on my playthrough through it. It's also one of the reasons why I list whether or not I cheated and why I cheated. I'm so sorry, Caspian. I didn't mean to bore you to sleep. Now, Ice Tray asks, didn't I already do an IDC of FF6? That's an interesting question. So, once upon a time, I was going through some really horrible parts of my life. And I needed to play Chrono Trigger, and I needed to play FF4, and I needed to play FF6. Because I was getting frankly suicidal. So, I decided to go ahead and just make up, hey, let's do a stream of these games. So we did. Now, that was kind of the beginnings of what we now call the Premiere Run method and the IDC method, the pluses and the minuses we got over here. But it was actually a different system. First of all, we were rating things based on gameplay, story, graphics, and music, which is obviously divested from what we're doing right now. And second of all, the very mentality I had going into it was different. So, if you remember, like FF6 and Chrono Trigger ended up with like a total of a plus 30 or something like that net. Under the new system that we're doing, there's a pretty good chance that that actually wouldn't be true, that they wouldn't have nearly that many positives. Now, I don't know, but that's the point. Both the actual scoring system itself and my own method of approaching it were very, very different. So, no, I've never actually done an in-depth classic of FF6 or FF4 or any of that. In fact, I could probably list on one hand the games I have done an in-depth classic of. We did Project Valkyrie, we did Treasure of the Rudras, we did Mega Man 7, we did Donkey Kong Country, and we did Super Metroid. And I believe that's it, is those 5. All of those should be on the website right now. I'm not sure how up-to-date I am on that, because it takes forever to update those. But anyways. What? Well, I guess I'll get the diving suit on. Oh, yeah. You're right. I did Golden Sun and Golden Sun 2. You are correct. So that's 7 in-depth classics. Don't let me forget to order food like earlier today so I can actually get a nap in, by the way. We're going to keep doing that test today, see how that works out. As I fall through the depths, the water grows dark, and a dog whines in the background. But the glow below you is ever brighter. Schools of gigantic fish twirl and twist and swirl around you, paying you no heed. By the way, good morning, Night Forger. Where's the Google Doc for this? So, there actually isn't... Or if you mean the Google Doc for this, that would be this one, Caspian. If you mean where I document all this stuff for long-term stuff, that's actually on the website. See you around, Dice Tray. So I'll go ahead and give you a link to it, but it's on the front page. It's just there's the Premier Run page and the Classic page. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yep, I'm right, 7. So here you go. lorerunner.com/classics. Real simple. And yeah, they are all up there. Even Treasures of the Rudras. Which is funny, by the way. I mentioned how FF6 might not have that many pluses. It's worth noting that Super Metroid was a net +8 and a net +17. And I've actually gone back more than once to re-examine that, and I stand by it. That was with negatives built in. Because there are negatives to Super Metroid. It's just that good of a game. What do you want from me? Anyways. Have I ever played or reviewed Octopath? Yes, I absolutely have. You can find it on the Premier Runs page, which is also on the website, but since people hate going to my website, I'll give you a link. Give me a moment. Just pull up my website. Real quick. And pull up the Premier Run page. I'll even give you a link straight to the Octopath thing. Don't worry, it's a non-spoiler thing. Boop. See, the way I do this... There you go. There's a link straight to the Octopath one. The way I do this is you'll notice I've got just a paragraph there explaining my thoughts on it, and then I give the net score. But then if you click the spoilers thing, that's where actual spoilers are, and that's the reason I do that whole system, so you don't have to be spoiled on something to have my overall thoughts. Or if you want the full thoughts, then you can click that and see the full spoilers. Now, I know what you're thinking, Korgoth. Wait a minute, what's wrong with you, Lore? You gave 12 negatives to Octopath net. Yes, I did. And if I'm being 100% blunt, that was me being generous. As I mentioned, both during the stream and on that page, I actually felt bad about how many negatives I was giving that game, and I just kind of stopped after a certain point. Except for really bad stuff. Soon enough, you can make out a vague shape of a structure resting on the seafloor. Rising from the ruins of Kignath Moor is a tall spire and what appears to be a landing platform. When you finally reach the spire, you find the shimmering barrier surrounds the ruins. You pass your hand through the barrier and feel nothing but a tingle like static across your skin. You walk through the barrier and discover the interior of the ruins aren't flooded as you might have expected, but dry. You remove your helmet, take a deep breath of fresh air, and walk into the ruins of Kignath Moor. Yeah, that's the sad thing, Zilog. Because you're right, you're absolutely right. Octopath Traveler on the PC will have cheats, and that will make the game
I'm not complaining.
far more palatable.
Don't go far.
But yeah, as Upon a Time says, that means you need cheats to enjoy it, and I've actually commented on that concept several times. Any game that I personally feel I need to cheat to actually enjoy it, that is, by itself, a negative. FF8, excuse me. Sorry, something stuck in my throat there. Yes, absolutely, Caspian. There's still a few issues with it here and there, but for the most part, much better done. And you can basically avoid combat, so that's nice.
That's not very helpful.
Oh, I need to get him out of my party. I just realized. No wonder I'm doing so badly. I have no tanks. Both of my tanks are not in the party. Nah, whatever. After this dungeon, we'll get him back in the party.
Watch and learn.
That's another one. if you need mods to make a game palatable, there's an issue there. Well, I benched one of my tanks to get Seraphin in so I could finish his story arc. And I benched the other tank so I could get Maya in so that she and Jyoti would end up in a relationship together. Because apparently this is Fire Emblem. But I can give you a couple of examples of games that, in my opinion, basically need mods to be enjoyable. Skyrim. Now, I've given my opinions on Skyrim several times, but it is my strong opinion that Skyrim Vanilla is not a particularly good game. That one, Dakota, that thing. It's to build a barrier. I'm building a Maya barrier between me and Jyoti. The Winding Serpent was our first success. Born of the common barracuda, we subjected the creature to the machine's vital energies, and it grew to immense proportions. It has since appeared to have developed something of a group mentality, often hunting in packs. Really? He can't...
Don't be supposing we could blow it up.
Whatever.
Done.
Another good example of that
Had someone in my sights.
would be World of Warcraft.
How do you like that?
As much as I love World of Warcraft, and I do, the harsh fact is that I really actively dislike several aspects of the UI. And I need mods to make the UI something that I want it to be. It's probably worth noting, by the way, in case you think I'm being unkind, that in both the case of Skyrim and World of Warcraft, while they would get a negative for the mods needed thing, they would also get a positive for the mods supporting thing. As I've said before, there are several layers of mod support, and both of the games I just mentioned are very, very big on supporting mods. At least they were. And I mean, not just making the game modular, but also releasing developer API and toolkits in order to help, players make mods. Yeah, that would explain why we're just getting crunched, just because we have no actual tanks. I mean, I guess there's me. I'm the closest thing to a tank up here. Oh god, Hazardous. I may have to push Hazardous up to being right after Pathfinder at this rate. It's just gonna be sad, isn't it?
I got this.
Oh, what was it? There was some game that was a multiplayer only game that basically got to a point where you couldn't play it because you couldn't find a group. Like, that's how much I disliked those games, those multiplayer-only games. I was trying to do a match with a pack of 12 ninjas, and for some reason, no one else was wanting to fight a pack of 12 ninjas. I don't know why. I mean, that just sounds like a fun time to me.
That's not very helpful.
Not my best.
And I'm almost down. Hang on. Let's do this, first of all. Or not, or just don't take any action. That's cool, too. I didn't want you to do that. Wow. Yeah, we might actually die this fight. Well, either way, thank you, a pack of 12 ninjas.
That dog won't hunt. Darkness.
Shady, hold on, lass.
I just explained it, Sora Cookie. Any early CRPGs worth playing today? Neverwinter Nights. And I mean that sincerely. As I mentioned during the NWN lore run, in my opinion, Neverwinter Nights 1 has actually aged moderately well. Granted, I've played that game several times, so I'm kind of used to it, but I do think it works to this day. Wow. I would also say Arcanum. Now, that being said, Arcanum... God, I don't even know how to explain this. Yes, hell of a mouse. Arcanum is... I mentioned this during my rumination of it. It just kind of slid neatly into my mind. Like, I had no problem understanding it, or how to play it, or where to go with, etc., right?
Be on your guard.
That being stated, I did play it, I think, right after Fallout 2, which I had huge issues going back to. So make of that what you will, basically. It's going to depend on the individual, is what that really boils down to. But for me, Arcanum has aged reasonably well. So that's Neverwinter Nights 1, Arcanum, and that's it. And yes, I did Mazanaka. In fact, I commented on that during the Neverwinter Nights lore run. In fact, since you bring it up, I'm pretty sure I still have the image ready to go for that. Because I actually played Neverwinter Nights. Let's see, do I have it here? No, I would have archived it, of course. So that's going to be here instead. See? Yeah, I actually played this game back in the day. This was basically the first real MMO. Now, we could debate that, but what this was quite literally, it was a MUD that had a graphic interface. And that's an MMO, basically. So yeah, that was pretty much the actual beginning of MMOs as a concept. Then Ultima Online came out and actually came up with the term MMO. And then we had EverQuest, which was basically the one that really codified the MMO concept. But yeah, you had to get it through AOL. Like, for those of you... I know it sounds weird, but back in the day, you didn't really have, like, just internet connection and then you'd do whatever. You would connect to AOL, and you'd have AOL's, GUI, and you'd connect to stuff through AOL. It was the weirdest thing, thinking back on it. I hated it, by the way, even back then. One of the earliest things I figured out was how to bypass the AOL GUI and actually just, connect to the internet. Rather than being forced to use that. Did I already? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, so let's go get that. Okay, let's try this fight again.
Hey there.
Might as well be hitting the water.
Very bulging ball bags. I'll be seeing you soon. See you must me too.
That is what I mean, yes, hell of a mouse. Although there was also IRC, which was... Well, I'm sure there were others, but back in the day, the only things I had to chat with other people online were message boards, email, AOL Instant Messenger, and IRC. So, yeah, I used to just hang out on several IRC channels, chatting with friends. Excuse me, goodness. Let's do that. One of the MUDs I remember most fondly was one a friend of mine actually introduced me to. It was a Lord of the Rings one. I don't even know what it was called, and I'm sure there were more than one Lord of the Rings MUDs back in the day, but...
what have we here?
What I remember most about it is that the Mouth of Sauron was really good loot, and people would just farm him. Dwarf Fortress? I have, in fact. Pack of 12 Ninjas. Not extensively. But I have played it. The Kraken is a beast like none other. By applying the manipulation techniques we refined through our work with the Leviathan, we increased both the size and intelligence of the common octopus, and they have since proved ferocious hunters. There was one unfortunate side effect, however. They also became quite territorial. But yes, I have a little bit of gamer cred when it comes to older games. Just a little bit. If you go back into the 70s, it starts to get to the point where I'm like, what's this cheesecake doing here? Why is it filled with poison? Oh my god! The speed of the ring's rotation and the subtle patterns in the humming, and after prodding, the pylons make sense to you. Okay. Just turn it off. Did I just turn off the shield?
You sprung us up a leak, Cap. Fancied a swim, did you?
I did, apparently. We barbed Ravager. The barbed Ravager was the direct result of our success with the Winding Serpent. We grafted poisonous barbs onto bull sharks and then subjected them to the machine's energies. The creatures tripled, then quadrupled in size, assimilating the barbs into their bodies. And so a most fearsome predator was born. This is just like every other mad scientist lab in gaming, isn't it? We decided to just mutate a whole bunch of things. Yeah, just cuz. The wall before you is decorated by an intricately painted mural of 4 sea creatures of legend, the 4 that they just mentioned. The Kraken. I was injured. Okay. That sucks. Save. The shark. Injured. The whale. Injured. The serpent. Okay. The whale. Wait, no, hang on. The serpent. The whale. Okay, apparently it will not kill us in this. I was going to say, if we get a 4th injury, we're dead. But apparently it won't kill us in this. That's actually funny. So, serpent. Kraken? Nope. Okay, serpent. Shark. Kraken. Nope. 50% chance. Shark. Whale. Kraken. Now let's get rid of those horrible deaths of injuries, shall we? Let's take a rest now that the place is leaking water. That's a good idea. Just start a campfire in the underwater base that's leaking. Why are we so stupid?
Watch and learn.
Hey, it's a spear. A crap spear. Although... reaches out to pull a distant target to the wielder using slashed pierce damage and dazing them. It's frickin' Scorpion's spear. You know, get over here. That one. Feels like there's something up here, but I don't see a way to get up there, so whatever. No. Yeah, if you look it up on Wikipedia, Generation X starts in, like, 79 or something like that. It's a really weird date. Or no, that's millennial, isn't it? Sorry. Millennials started in 79, which I just look at like, really? The Leviathan was a folly born of purest hubris. After our experience with the barbed Ravager, we decided to test the limits of the machine's growth capacities. We entrapped a pod of blue whales and subjected them to the machine for months. Only a few of the creatures survived, but those that did could not be contained. Science! No, Millennial is after Gen X. And there's also Gen Y somewhere in there, and I think there's another generation somewhere in there, too. Yeah, I don't know, Caspian. Yeah, exactly, Cashel. It's like, what the hell were you people thinking? Thinking? What's that? Would be their reply. Okay, it feels like I should be able to go up there, but I can't see anything to let me do that. So, whatever. Back we go. But, yeah, no. I am, for example, technically a millennial, which always amuses me, since that word is basically synonymous with the word insult. Or rather, with an insult nowadays. Yeah, I have no idea how to get up there, though. There was no path that I could see. So I gave up.
Give me a real challenge.
So... Water's coming in even faster now. There is a path. Well, I'll have to take your word on it. Oh, right. There's the door that I couldn't unlock earlier. That makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Hell of a mouse. It is one of a long series of generic insults people like to throw, along with words like autistic or entitled.
Machine is old and salty. Figure it'd be twice like to break, is not?
And there are others.
I got this.
Water floods the ruins. Ah! Hang on. Can I just... Yeah, okay. Before we do that... 1 second. I wasn't sure that was going to be the one that finally drops the barrier. Let's examine this thing first. Let's see here. The machine is funneling essence into the surrounding flora and fauna from a luminous Audra beneath the ruins. The machine has no apparent off switch. A presence pushes at the edges of your mind. It soon grows forceful, overwhelming the mental barriers with ease. You skitter. The skitter and rattle of dead leaves comes to you on a breeze, damp with the smell of rotting wood.
Watcher, still your hands.
Puh!
Signath Moor is under my protection. Why do you violate it?
Why do you protect this machine?
I am fond of the creatures it creates. The small among them struggle to best their bolder brethren, and some even succeed. But that is not what you truly want to ask, is it?
So is this machine the source of the giant coral?
Indeed it is. The Engwithan's fine creation siphons essence from a vein of Audra deep within the earth, and the creatures of this region drink deeply of it. They grow strong, ruthless, and in so doing, worthy of my regard. Should you want to gain my regard as well, you would destroy this place to protect my machine. Then none will have the means to threaten my work here, as you have.
I shall obey the will. Oh. No, I'm kidding. That's actually not what I will do. Deactivate the machine. Click. Actually let me do it.
Sakes alive. I think he's mad.
He's fine. Save, just to commit to that. Aw, I can't deactivate, so I can only deactivate it to piss him off. Or destroy the place? Well, deactivating it to piss him off is far more of a palatable thing, so I'll just go with that. I gotta be honest, the more I play this game, the more I'm tempted to go with the bad ending. I really am. Some do, a pack of 12 ninjas. She's not from around here, though, so she's kind of, you know, different. So, boss fight. It's the Watcher below. And I have no tank.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I saw that, Leander, but I really just prefer switching the switch. I really do. Okay, so this is going to be bad.
Got someone in my sights.
Show them how it's done.
Especially since we're slowed on this terrain. And have no tank.
Try this.
Try aiming next.
What for, Cap?
That's not very helpful.
Right between the eyes.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I can do tentacles too!
Taxed to my limit.
And Aloth is down.
Frog in a figurehead. Fute.
Let's go ahead and pop this. See, part of the reason he's so difficult, in case you didn't glance at that list like I did earlier, he is resistant to any dexterity or might afflictions. He is flat immune to intellect or resolve afflictions. So any affliction that has a contested roll of intellect or resolve doesn't do anything. And if you're remembering, a lot of my strategy right now boils down to debuffing the hell out of the enemy and buffing myself. That's most of my kit right now. Let's go ahead and burn that.
Can't get a clean hit.
Let's go and burn that while we're at it too. Now, if you noticed, he's actually weak to perception things. But I'm not sure which of my various things are versus perception. I'm not sure I have any, actually. No, that's mine as well. Good song.
That's not very helpful.
Try this.
Yeah, that's it.
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Tell me.
What she got against bumps and pickles?
I'll teach you a lesson.
Oh, we got him. Woo! That was fun.
Give me
That's an interesting helmet. Plus 1 power level for anything with poison. Anything with poison keyword. Oh, wow. That's... Huh.
challenge.
Oh, I would absolutely recommend this game, Korgoth.
Watch and learn.
No question. I have to decide who I put that on. No. Well, I can't. So I have to put it on Adair or myself. Those are my only options. Yeah, well, I was actually trying Mazanaka. So, that's my fault. I apologize. Next time I'll just let the AI run, and then we'll have a much harder time of it. Because the AI is not the best. Okay, so, now that that's done. Oh, it's Malnaj. Hey, what's up, Malnaj? You're about to encounter me, aren't you? Well, before you do, get out of my party, get into my party. I think I'll put it on him, honestly. God, that looks dumb. Ah, we can just get rid of it. Poof, we're good. I saw something else in there I wanted to look at. Was that it? No, that wasn't it. Is that it? Argonian. Who would skin an Argonian? What kind of monster would do that? What's she got on? She has the acceptment arquebus, right. Nah. Okay. Run up, yep. You've barely cleared Sayuka when a sleek half galley appears in your port bow. Aw, damn it, I just got rid of Seraphin, whatever. See you around, Packet. Where'd they go? Oh. That was a good song. That was probably the first song that really stuck out for me. Of the various.
Oh, you land-lubbing bag of bilge bile. You owe me £400. A ship and your cog swabbing life.
Enjoy the death! Ah, yep. What? This will be 2 pirates of the council that I have taken out now, by the way. Benoth or whatever, Benwath or whatever his name was, and this lady. Wait, is that it? Is there anything else alive? Are we done? Yeah, Seraphin was actually here, although he didn't have anything to say, so whatever.
I'm here.
Loot. Cool? Cool. Okay. We're out. Peace. I suppose. Hang on. There we go. Hey, Fiendish. Alright. That was fun. Anyways, Fiendish, to summarize, I am enjoying the game, despite its length. Which is saying something in its own right.
We must oblige her. We cannot spare the weight. Already the ballast is overtaxed. Increase the size of the ballast then. And store it where? Then we must increase the size of the ship. Take your concerns to the Valian. This mess is her responsibility now.
Ak, so much to do, so few hours a day.
Okay. I was gonna say, we could go talk to Romaro, but no, I think he's just out in general. It's not even a quest, that was just a consequence of a quest. Our log is almost empty, guys. That's my goal. Get a basically empty quest log. We're almost there, guys. We can make it. I have no idea, Mazanaka. Although, I suppose I should say, historically speaking, certain groups of people, pirates included, but sailors more to the point, have certainly come up with their own linguistic tics.
I hope your effort to resolve the coral situation is meeting with success.
Who are you? I'm just kidding. I did deal with the disturbance, yes.
You've brightened my day considerably. We should have the port in working order as soon as the remaining coral is cleared. Ah, before I forget, Atsura would like to see you at the Brass Citadel.
Of course he would.
Though he appears placid on the surface, Atsura is not a patient man.
Oh, I know. He's probably going to be my enemy long term, which is going to suck. And then I'll have to kill him. That'll be funny. I'm kidding. I don't actually want to kill Atsura. He's cool. I am probably going to be his enemy, but I don't actually want to kill him. Do that one. Wow.
Want some honey?
I'm sorry, console out. I'm just wow. That is definitely one of those only in video games kind of things, isn't it? Whoops! I accidentally kicked a guy in the balls. Points if you get that one, because that's happened to me. Better in almost every way, I'd say, Fiendish. As I think the score over here indicates. I need to buy some food that isn't junk. Let's buy some food that isn't junk. And some wine that isn't junk. I got what you meant, console out. Yeah, Fiendish. I would think so. That's just my opinion, obviously. Okay, so this is Dunnage. That's a wait. That's Brass Citadel. That's over there. Well, let's go deal with the Principe, shall we? Let's see what the pirates have to say. There are some missteps with dialogue. In fact, that's the story negative up there. It isn't actually pretty common, but every now and again there's a moment where it's like, hey, this! And it's like, what? Why? Well, screw you. In fact, to be perfectly blunt, the incident with the druids earlier is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Hi, I'm one of you. Really? Then you will kill the person who sent you here. And then I'm like, no? And they're like, no, you must kill them or else. Okay. I choose not to kill them? Then we must kill you. And it was just out of frickin' nowhere. Like, alright, whatever, I guess. The hell do I know? Oh, whoops. I think we're doing okay with Jyoti right now, though. I guess we could test that, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, exactly, Blackfile. It was just, you must kill them. Why? Well, if you don't, then we will kill you. I feel like we skipped a few steps there or something. Just we're missing something.
Castol warned me you would come, but he did not indicate how much he'd have briefed you in advance.
Castol thought you could use the help?
You can assure Castol that I would have handled it in due time. I've simply been tied up with other matters.
Yeah, I know. I'm technically working with you, if you'll remember.
However, if you were to handle this small matter for the both of us, I would see to your reward, personally.
Okay.
Oh yes, assuredly. You are one of Castol's. You're to go to Crooksburg and speak with a Master Kua. He runs the island.
Oh god, console out. Well, hopefully he won't be in PoE 3. Fingers crossed.
Hand me your map, and I'll mark Crooksbur's location. I trust that Castal has already pressed upon you the need for discretion regarding this matter. Don't answer that.
I wonder.
That dog won't hunt. Let's get up. We're not done yet.
As I say, I think with sheer numbers they got me.
My guts in here, Captain. Sweet ridiculous.
'Cause that is a lot of people. Anyways. Rewind. Yeah, I don't think I can manage it. I might be able to manage it if I set it up right in advance. You know, use the terrain to my advantage. Like, I'd have to be over here, basically, to limit how many of them could reach me at a time. And I would need to be out here, so I could be mobile. But we're not going to do that. We might do that later. We might. I don't particularly like Ferrante, and he is, well, I've already given my theory about him. I would say this game is not as good as DOS 2, but that's because DOS 2 is, in my opinion, the best CRPG ever made, and it's kind of hard to get to there, right? I hear you've got a deal. Another one? Really? Going on with Ferrante to muck around in that mess of a Crookspur Island. Before you go sailing into that, come and give a chat with me, will you? I got a proposition for you I think you'll find wickedly enticing. I'll reserve a berth for the Mario at the Fort Deadlight's dock. Your most ruthless but truthful friend, Aldis. P.S. Bring some more candied nuts. You know how I like them. I don't have any sugar! I haven't had sugar, like, since I cheated sugar in. So we will use the last of the cheated sugar. The only cheats I've done in this game was for the frickin' sugar. That, fiendish. Although we have turned the difficulty down from what it was, because frankly it was getting a bit too sloggy. There is a story mode difficulty, however. Let's avoid the storm that's over there. I don't feel like dealing with that right now. I love how rare sugar is out here. Like, you'd think canes would be easy to come by, right? Like, don't sugar canes grow in this kind of climate? I could actually be wrong about that. This is when you say, what corn doesn't, and then I laugh. And then cry. I will say this game does one thing superior to DOS 2. Politics. There's a lot of really good politicking and factions amongst the factions and differing perspectives on, you know, motives and agendas, and it's all brilliant. It's all very well done, which is pretty normal for Obsidian. Aldis?
I see you're still alive. But what can I do, you lovesome?
So, about Ferrante.
Got something for me, Dove? I'm all ears.
So, Ferrante asked me to search Neketaka for information on the floating hangman.
Neketaka? But why there, lovesome? Well, go on then. I'm sure you've heard our saying. Share and share. As is the law of the coast.
I don't know why that's a law, but anyways, Lucian Riven was slain by a Berethian priest and rose as a death guard.
Explains how she's captain of an undead crew. That also tells me, if she's a death guard, then there'll be something she's wanting most fierce. Something she may be willing to bargain for. This bit of knowledge is something I can assuredly work with. I always did like untangling the threads of history. It's like puzzling out an encoded treasure map. Only to reap these spoils, We've to uncover the mysteries of the past. Give me time, and I'll find the means to deal with Lucia. Then we'll be one fathom closer to commandeering the floating hangman. As you wish, Dove.
Got you some...
Happily and wholeheartedly at your disposal. At least until I get bored.
I brought you some candied nuts.
You do know how I like them. And how much they make me like you, Dove.
Minor positive rep gain. So I helped Mad Morena in the Undercroft.
So I heard. And so I'm impressed. I like when someone does me and mine a favor. Makes me feel real friendly towards them, you know? And I like to give my friends little tokens of my appreciation, like this.
That's actually not bad.
Expect me to be in touch, if or when I need you. Elsewise, do come to see me should you happen to uncover any particularly juicy tidbits regarding Ferrante's political schemes.
So, I don't think this qualifies as a negative, but to partially explain what I mean by kind of the dialogue weirdness, we had to go through all of everything I just went through to get to the dialogue option to show up, to acknowledge the fact that she sent me a letter asking me to come here.
I've got a problem, Watcher, and I think you're just the captain to solve it. Me and Ferrante don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, not least of which is the future of the Principe.
Where are you on slavery? Because that's all I really care about.
We got few rules amongst us new bloods, but one of them is that you live free. We steal and we might murder, but if you pledge to us, you're our blood, our family. Now, if I were to act in direct opposition to Ferrante, he'd use it to call a vote of the Council of Captains. He'd see me swinging by the neck. But no one's got a leash on you.
Oh, if only you knew.
Which means if you were to, perchance, free the slaves at Crookspur, Ferrante couldn't do piss all about it. No one deserves to be enslaved by another. Understand?
Yeah. I am totally with you on that.
I'm asking you to sail to Crookspur to meet with one of mine. She's hiding within their midst, and will have insider information on the slavers.
How is Ferrante connected with slavers?
I've only suppositions to offer you, Loveson. But I'd bet my swollen-et Ferrante is attempting to gain standing with someone other than the slavers. Aiding the slavers is small fry for a captain like Ferrante. It wouldn't pay well enough to be worth the investment. No, he's got ulterior motives, mark my words.
So he may be working with the Valiants.
Well, ain't that a fine thing to know? It makes sense for certain. Aiding the slavers is small fry for a captain like... If you've evidence of his... Oh, and this here's a little something for you.
2,500 copper. Nice. What can you tell me about the slavers?
I know they base their operations in the Deadfire out of Crookspur. I know they're small but ruthless. And they've run into problems shipping around the islands.
And they're about to all have very messy accidents. How do I find your pirate of Crookspur?
She'll find you, Loveson. You'll know her by her scar. It's a ghastly sight.
Alright, well, I guess I'm off to Crookspur.
Find me when you've freed those slaves. I'll make it worth your while, Captain.
Well, that's more of a grey topic, Fiendish, isn't it? Obviously, when I encourage you to be my indentured servant, I'll be doing so with a kindness, treating you positively as an employee that simply happens to not be paid. But yeah, no, okay, for a real answer, you have to define it for me. Even slavery actually means like 4 or 5 different things. And I've said this before and I'll say this again. When I refer to slavery, when I use that word, slavery or slavers, I am referring to chattel slavery, which in my opinion is 100% unacceptable. Like, no excuse. That's one of those truly rare circumstances where it's like, nope. Not cool under any circumstances. Anyways. No, I prefer the former, personally, Console Hout. I've been one of those weirdos who I don't mind the typical elves as much as some people I know, but at the same time, I mean, they're typical elves. There's a reason we use the word typical there. So anytime you want to vary it up a little bit, I'm fine with that. Oh, hang on. Let's see if we can get any sugar. Isolated hobo elves. Well, that's just Dark Eldar, isn't it?
Care to have a look right away?
Still no sugar. I'll have to kill him later. Completely alien elves? Give me an example. Thoughts on the current state of BioWare? I'm always weirded out when I'm asked that question. No offense intended. Because I've been saying for like 5 years at this point that BioWare is gone and has been gone. And I'm right. I mean, I'm sorry, but BioWare has not been really BioWare for a very long time at this point. You know? Whatever's left over at this point is just a bunch of people trying to make the best they can with a very bad situation. And they have succeeded sometimes, and they have failed other times. And they've also done both in the same game. I will point to Mass Effect Andromeda as a good example of a game that did several things right. But otherwise it came off as, to use my own quote here, aggressively average. Then you look at games like Anthem, which is just... I'm looking forward to that premiere run, let me tell you what. Oh, hey, Slavers. Inquisition is another example. Dragon Age Inquisition is a game that, in my opinion, actually is probably one of the most positive things that have come out of the new BioWare. Because there's a lot of legitimately good stuff in Inquisition, in my opinion. However, there's also many, many issues with Inquisition. It's also a game that I pretty much mandate that you need mods to really enjoy. Which, per our earlier discussion, would be a negative. Excellent, Console Hot. Once they're all economically ruined, I could just move in and take over, can't I? Don't worry, I'll fix your economy. I agree, crunch is bad. That is part of why we are trying to avoid crunch in my job. I mean, you're right, Hazardous. This goes back to the 90s, as I mentioned many, many times. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm, oh, I was around before you, kind of a thing. But I do think it is important to keep in mind that EA has been destroying companies and lives since the 90s. That's the 20-plus year range now. I was in school when EA was destroying companies. I love that quest objective. Deal with the slavers of Crookspur. Yeah, that's definitely a sound bug there. Anyways, Fiendish, to get back to you. So they enter a contract, place them in service. I mean, that can work out. It depends on the specifics. Like, that's the problem with something like that. Like, for example, if... Let me use a random example. Let's say Platty. Hear me out. Platty says, "Lore, I will be your indentured servant." And I'm like, okay, so I provide her, food, drink, comfort, home, place to stay. And she works the lore farms where I mine all the lore from the earth. And for like a set period of time. And as long as I take good care of her, as long as I am actually a decent boss, because that's basically what it is at that point, and do provide for her, then sure, whatever. The question then becomes, why enter into such an arrangement, other than simple survival, of course. So, save.
Are you there? Psst, Lovesome. Chance a gander this way.
What?
thought that might catch your attention. Now then, you must call me Sayafol. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, madam. Have a look-see. You won't find a grander market for your labor needs than Crookspa, nor finer illusion wares than mine.
Illusion wares?
Lockpicks, noisemakers, chisels and crowbars, maps, compasses, hardtack, spyglasses, potions of invisibility. You know, your typical basic expected survivalist gear. For the more courageous traveler. Now, if I were a wagering woman, I'd say Aldi sent you to help me outfit just such travelers. Aye?
Well, exactly so, our Cookie. That's why that kind of indentured servitude could be a very bad thing. Anybody who's played Warframe can tell you about how indentured servitude can be a really horrible thing.
During my station here, I've spied signs of illegal activity.
Okay.
Slaves that oughtn't to be slaves. Enslaving people of the Deadfire is illegal. It's the selling of slaves from elsewhere that isn't.
That's an interesting legal loophole.
If we could free the natives who've been detained before they're carted outside of the Deadfire, the illegal trade would be exposed, weakening the entire trade. Moreover, we'd ruin Ferrante's ploy with the slavers, whatever it may be.
I'll do what I can.
You'll find the natives, the illegal stock, deep within the fortress, kept from sight. There's routes to the inside, but most stand heavily guarded. You may have better luck sneaking in through the sea caverns dotting the shore. One of them leads into the fortress. I've got a skiff ready for the slaves you send out. We'll make fast for Deadlight. After that, who but Andra knows? Maybe I'll see you around Dunwich.
So we'll free the slaves first. Then we'll kill everyone. I mean, just the slavers, obviously. I was going to look something up. Hang on a second. Console How, you asked, do I like settings with piracy? Yes and no. What I like to define it as, this is just my own terminology or whatever, is I like to vary between piracy and piracy. You know, pirates. And most of this is pirates. I'm not really a big fan of pirates. Because pirates, well, I mean, are horrible. Are disgusting, depraved, awful human beings that have done truly terrible, terrible things and continue to do so to this very day. But pirates, well, that's a different story. Pirates tend to be the more romanticized version of things, or lean more towards, like, a confederation of unaligned ship captains, which is kind of what the Principi are, for example. So basically, yes, I'm kind of on board with this.
You there, approaching.
Yeah, what's up?
You are late. The auction is almost over.
Then hurry and let me through, please.
If anyone is to hurry, it should be you. I grow tired of opening and closing the gate. Take care that I do not drop it as you walk beneath.
Yeah. Not off the top. Yes, I do, Hazardous. And yeah, that was pirates, not pirates, very clearly.
Noma, at last we reached the culmination of our lot today.
I mean, that was part of the point, was that they were pirates. A strapping, ugly-faced Mistborn, chains and planks of the stage rattling with each of his steps.
Feast your eyes on a fruit most rare. Verlico will open the bidding at 800 pies. 800 pies, 800 right here, and 850. Who'll give me 850, 875, I'm at 875.
What a putrid thing.
We've got 875 and now 900. Who will bid us 900?
Well, yeah, there's also privateers, which is kind of a... There's a lot of overlap there between privateers, pirates, and pirates. And no, I mean a confederation, at least in the way they function, Zillow. What is my opinion of romanticism? As long as you acknowledge that it is romanticized, I'm actually in favor of it. My most infamous example I like to use is Fallout. Fallout is heavily romanticized post-apocalypse, and I'm okay with that. It is, in fact, something of a satirical work in general, and I'm okay with that. As long as we acknowledge that, as long as that is upfront and overt, as long as we acknowledge that an actual world in which two superpowers have an energy crisis that leads them to war over the scraps of what's left, and then a nuke just happens, and what's left can barely scrap together means in the horrible situation. That would be horrible, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if Fallout was not romanticized, that would be awful. But it is, so it works. As long as we acknowledge it. I mean, how many of you guys like Pirates of the Caribbean? Any of them? Any of the 5 films? I mean, I do. I like the first 4. Yeah, I know. Now, I want you to picture what it would be like to be on a ship, which kind of stinks, and you haven't bathed in weeks, and there's a whole bunch of other people clammed together with you, and you have to sleep a couple feet from another person whenever you can get sleep. And you basically just get sleep from exhaustion, laying down on a bunch of planks, absolutely destroying your back and your neck, so you're in pain all the time. Oh, and also, the work you're doing is basically back-breaking work, running a sailing ship like that. And I could keep going, but you get the point. That would be horrible. They don't show any of that because that's not the point. Romanticized. Just, yeah. Anyways, before I start bidding, I hear Crooksper engages in illegal trading practices. Why would I say that? No, I need to free people. I need to free people before I start killing everyone. I saved before this, right? And yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about, like, lice or bugs. I should probably order by the end of the hour, Platty. So, I'm going to bid 2,000!
Damnation! Count me out.
2,000. The price is 2,000 beautiful pies. Do I have 2 and 500? Once, twice, and sold to our mystery bidder, the patron with the weighty pockets.
I mean, I got like 30,000 lying around. I'm fine for this.
Gelarde, I do hope you possess the sufficient funds, for your sake as well as mine. Come here now. We will finalize the trade. Perfetto. Let us close this deal. You are a first-time buyer, Ak? For I do not recognize you as one of our usual patrons.
Yeah, that's right.
Before the transfer is complete, you must speak with Master Kua. He awaits in his office in the fort.
Of course. Where's the... There he is.
Good day, my lady mistress.
Don't. Never call me master.
Back the way you came, if you know what's good for you.
I'm a paying customer.
Master's orders. If you want to see more than what's been offered, you'll have to speak to Master Kua.
I'm sorry, I was just curious.
Curiosity's killed more than a few runts like you.
Right. We might have to kill, then free. I don't even care if I get my money back. I've got... My hull is full of stuff that I need to sell to make even more money. And yeah, I noticed that the slave was going for 900 pyres, which is just... Now, that was an auction, so that's not necessarily indicative of price, but still.
What did you find, Ishi?
There he is. I guess that's true, Black Val. I'll stomach it for now.
Shall we cut right to it? So you purchased my rarest and most valuable offering. Clearly, you are a client of refined taste. But now it's time to pay up.
I simply wanted to look you in the eye as I ended your miserable existence. No, I'm kidding. Here's your money.
We're sterling. I thank you for your business, and you're free to claim your new chattel anytime you like.
I love it when you're honest about it.
Of course, there is one matter for which we must discuss.
Okay.
My associate informed me he would send an aid to my problem. In exchange, I am willing to commit a number of ships to his fleet.
What does he need me to do?
The Wahaki have been quite persistently attacking my ships. That does make it somewhat difficult to conduct business in these waters.
Oh, you poor thing. Is that a lion?
The Wahaki savages are nothing without their tribal leaders. Get rid of them, and the rest will scatter like startled birds. I need them stopped, and I need it done a fortnight ago.
Okay. Praise to whoever's directing/acting this character. He sounds exactly how he should in my mind. Very brusque, very businesslike, and very cold. Like, there's not even a trace of decency in that tone. Why are they attacking your ships?
I imagine because they're territorial bastards. Or perhaps they morally and philosophically oppose my trade. I hardly care about their motivations.
Well... I mean... I have actually already killed the Wahaki. Starting to feel more and more bad about that one. I've dealt with them. Sure. I mean... see, what the problem is, I'm going to kill all these people. That's just happening. These people are all going to die. Even if I have to cheat. It is acceptable to cheat to slaughter slavers. However, I need proof that Ferrante is working with illegal slavery in order to, you know, deal with Ferrante, who is assisting slavers. I also need to free people. I need to make sure the slaves are freed from this place. Because I don't want them to die in the crossfire, and I don't want them to be like, oh, I'll save you, master, and start attacking me, and then they'll die before I can pause the game. So, I need to actually, for once, I need to actually be pretty cautious here. Now, I've been saving constantly, so let's see what happens if I hit no.
So it has come to this. At least allow me to mark Wahaki Island on your map, in the case that you change your mind.
Of course. I also will freely reload at will. It's okay, Permeus, I understand completely. So, I need to go into the dungeons. Okay. Hang on.
What'll it be, madam?
Nothing, apparently. I just thought maybe she might give me a hint, but I think I have a hint.
You might find this interesting.
And there's my hint. Wade into the cave. I slosh into the water until the bottom abruptly drops out beneath you and a cold rush suffuses your skin. The water is greener in the back of the tavern, dark and deep. Swim further. Swimming through the cavern, I come across a set of tunnels, left and right. One leads to darkness, the other is marked by a faint glimmering of light. There's a statue here? What are you talking about, Mazanaka? Okay, joking aside. My mom was asking me about this game, and the way I described it to her was, this is a game about politics and internecine factions on an archipelago, and also there's a giant we're going after. And that really is the story, and I'm not even joking about that. The factions and the interplay between them is clearly the main focus. I'm pretty sure we would have, if we had just barrel rolled through the main story, we'd have been done days ago. Not anymore, Console Hawk. She's getting on in the years, but she likes to hear about the games I'm playing for stream. So I try to give her little summaries. Yeah, I tend not to do that one, Fiendish, because it's pretty horrible. Do I recommend this game? Yeah, absolutely. We'll go to the darker one. Okay, so that led to nothing. Got it. Partial success. I mean, it's Mehrunes. Read up on it sometime, Fiendish. Mehrunes Dagon is not particularly cool, and his razor is quite literally a cursed item. Oh, goody. Spiders. That's one of my favorite things. Yep, spiders. Just kill them. Just kill them. Just kill them. Kill them quicker. Kill them quicker. You know what? I'm going to look at my food options while you do this.
How embarrassing.
They all did? See you around, Korgoth. Have a good day at work. Oh, we're done?
I got this.
I don't want to loot that. I'll loot some of that.
I got this.
What's down here? Let me guess, more spiders. I sure hope so, Permies. I sincerely doubt it. I haven't really looked at mods for this game yet. So where's this lead? Pray tell. I suppose I would agree with that, Fiendish, but the problem is... Oh, this just leads outside. No. The main problem is that, I mean, the only way that works is headcanon, basically, because we know that each of the Daedric artifacts just kind of cycles back around every time it's used. That's why it's in Skyrim. But then again, I've said more than once that it's best if you look at the Elder Scrolls series as not having continuity between games, so... I'm looking forward to it a lot, Hazardous. I'm going to try to be as... like, get all my snark mode as snarky as I can for that stream. I hope it's really bad, so I can just eviscerate it. I know that sounds horrible, but I don't care. Now, that being said, if it is actually good, we will be very surprised, but I will rate it as such. Okay, so I can't do anything here.
Give me a real challenge.
It's actually pretty hard for me to be snarky. It takes effort. Right. In we go, I guess. Well, shoot. We're gonna have to killitude. I was hoping to, you know, spare and free before kill and kill. I'll go ahead and take a spoiler here if anyone knows. Is there another way in here that I'm just missing? Other than killing my way down. Because that appears to be the option at this point. Kind of looking around here a bit. Oh, it's a dog. Who's a good boy? A favorite part of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And then suddenly, the animator had a fatal heart attack. The quest was allowed to continue. No joke, that caught me so much by surprise. And God, I actually had to pause the video. I was watching on a VHS. I had to pause the video for quite some time. It was rather amusing. Yeah, no, I don't see any way down there. I'll look this one up. I'm okay with looking stuff up for slavers. For dealing with slavers. What's this quest? A shrewd proposition. What do we got? Huh. No. Alright. Back down we go. Apparently. I can tell you my second favorite thing, too, by the way. But then, alas, they were forced to eat Robin's minstrels, and there was much rejoicing. Yay. I guess the little touches that really sell it, like the yay, and the sound effects as they eat the minstrels. Have an ale. Oh no, have cuttlefish. That works. That works. What? No. Rest. I agree, Zilok. I also... Monty Python and the Holy Grail taught me something about comedy that I never really cognated before.
I see where you're going with that.
And that is that comedic timing and comedic presentation are very important, basically. There we go. Okay, so apparently I could just interact with the door, and nothing was actually telling me that. We got a pry bar. There we go. Now then... there was nothing telling me I could interact with the door. Yeah.
For a subtle dare. What did I tell you?
Also, I'm going to fail at this because I don't sound like drums, but... Okay, save. And then he just goes through, yeah! Oh my god. That's me. I'm John Cleese. That's what I'm about to do anyways. At least, in my case, at least I usually mass murder people who deserve it.
We've got company.
Wow, that's fast.
Can't make a dent.
How do you like that? Bullseye.
I actually agree with you, Oblivious. Given the political situation at the time, the Dark Elves should have been a perfect match for him to actually try and ally with and use against the Empire at that point in time. But Ulfric is a moron, who is also a bigot, so I suppose that's part of the problem. As I've said many times, I'm not really fond of Ulfric as a character. Hi, Colgrim. I guess we could try to sneak through here, since we're trying to free slaves. Like, that's our goal. Killing people is just a bonus at this point. God, this looks like a Diablo 2 dungeon.
Could be a fight.
Hey, what's up? How are things?
Try this.
I'd like to offer you a very, very reasonable deal on a brutal and horrible death.
I got this. I got this.
Lol, Colgrim.
I see where you're going with that. There. What did I tell you?
Got someone in my...
Hi there, guys. Wow, you're wielding an anchor. That's actually terrifying.
Still got it.
That should probably kill someone with a single swing, for being honest.
How do you like that? There's no need for that.
Damn it, Oblivious. The moment I read that, I you're not gonna kill me! Sorry.
Challenge.
I find it funny, by the way, in the comments on that VOD, I had several people who weren't really fond of how much I was bashing Skyrim and tearing it to shreds. And I find that hysterical, since anybody who's actually watched that VOD will remember that basically the entire first, session, I spent talking about all the things Skyrim does right. All the positive aspects of the game. Everyone always forgets it when I'm positive about things. They only focus on the negative things I see. It's really funny. And no, I have not. Oblivious. All I did was steal a horse. Well, you're dead now. Stab, stab, stab. God, I can barely see where I'm frickin' going. Whoops. Sorry. Sorry. Hello? There are slaves down here, right? Right? I hope there's some slaves down here. I know what you're thinking. That's horrible! Well, I mean, if there's not slaves down here, then that means they're not here right now, and I have just saved nobody. I think I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to give this game a negative. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. It's a newt, by the way. You know what I find most amusing, personally, about Monty Python, in general? You almost can't bring it up without people basically just start quoting it, you know? People will just be like, Monty Python, and then just the quotes happen. That's not a complaint or even like a comment, it just amuses me. Okay, so this is 2 cells, both of which should have had slaves in them. And neither of which do. According to the walkthrough that I happened to just glance at, there really should be slaves here. And we really should be able to free them. So... Huh? Like, I'm gonna not save for a bit in case I just screwed up somewhere.
How did you... Sounding the horns! We have a trespasser!
What? No, you don't have to... There's no need to sound the horns. I'm dead serious, by the way. Those 2 areas are supposed to have slaves in them. Hang on, let's rewind time here. Figure out what the heck we're doing wrong. No! I didn't free slaves. There are no slaves here. It's getting weird.
Whoa, whoa, look.
Like, why would there not be slaves at all in the area? Like, there weren't any. It's just bizarre. So you notice I'm trying to sneak through. Maybe they despawned? Nope, they're still not there. They're supposed to be in this cell right here. In fact, if you look at the map, it even says Wahiki cell. And over on the right, there's another cell, which was also not... Okay. Negative to gameplay. Or I guess story. Negative story. Couldn't free the slaves. Okay, hang on. We talked about her. Like, we talked to... What's her face? Seafull. And she said, I've got skiffs for the slaves. So we did that. Priority should be to save for the slaves. Go to the dungeons. Best way to accomplish this is go through the flooded cave. Paragraph scene. Go through the lighter tunnel. Crystal eating spiders. Kill the queen. Open the gate, which we did. Other descents into the dungeon are already in the main fort, specifically in the auction square. Each of these is guarded by a slaver. You will start a fight if you do so, or you can sneak past. Slaves are kept in 2 different cells in the south and east parts of the map. In the Wahika cell, you can talk to Bauha. If you approach the cell, attack the hero, you can defend yourself from the force test. You can open the cell by relying on mechanics or winning a key. In the latter case, you must reach the torture chamber. The Grom Overlord, who is the strongest ogre in the fort, is there. First, deal with the weaker slavers. When attacking Grom, keep the weaker teammates away. After release the slaves, a conversation will start. It's best to recommend they use the sea cave to get out. Bauha will, by default, want to attack slave hunters. You can let her and even join her, but in this situation, the natives will die. If you don't want any of the prisoners killed, you intimidate or survival to convince them to escape the fort. You're kidding me. The auction? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. This is our last save before the auction. You remember this? Because I do. Thinking, sorry. It's your own fiendish.
How in all
Holy. Have you come to deliver?
Yeah. Just give it some thought.
You cannot. This prison is built on a foundation. Use an art indicator. The Gitman for, and now the Deadfire dies in my absence. Now they're clever. None but the master believe. Freed Ice Knight. It made the enchantments of this prison and can destroy them. It can set me free. Do it. I can feel the weight of this pit diminishing around me. Do not stop now. The burden of this prison is much. Should you?
Be right there.
I don't know if you're right, Lycon. It's worth noting the guide I just read actually does not indicate that. In fact, the guide indicates that one of the things you could do is just walk in the front door, and then, you know, obviously the auction happens, and then you go kill the master, and then you go free the slaves. But obviously that's not true because I can't free the slaves. There are no slaves there. This would be an excellent time for an AMA. Off-topic questions, thoughts, comments, anything. Anything. I'm trying to contain my rage, so please forgive me. I guess I should finish eating. And by eating, I mean making food happen. What do I think about WoW 8.2? I'm not sure I do, if I'm being completely honest. World Quest rep grind to unlock Story Quest isn't anything new, unfortunately. So
What madness has its clutches
there's
around
that.
the Reach's Overlook? The mountain shakes, bellows of anguish echo in the
The name of the quest is, and I quote, "A Shrewd Proposition."
Now that nothing but panic and you do not. So for what did the guild endanger? No, send. I once told Myru she was not allowed. Parika, send speak on, Watcher. As short then if what became of the dragon? No, no, I say. Nagati close her teeth around your boat and Bodikas. I cannot keep Rawatai in check if they do not recognize our strength. The guild can outlast this. Then you are even in desperate times. This falls beneath. Wait, Water Shapers have kept this city in the hands of the Kahanga. You may work off your debt to the crown. I will swallow my pride if it keeps an ally under my roof.
Wait, what? You didn't give me a second chance last time.
Thank the goddess. Pray that she finds you worthy of service. My water-shaping masters will arrive soon, and I say the guild will be stronger for their guidance.
But a queen's work is not finished until she has endured all of Nagati's trials. I could send birds to every Ranga and rally them to our cause, but Neketaka needs more than strength.
Oh no.
We need pure Huana fury. We need the Wahaki. My brother calls the Wahaki the last true Huana. He's severe on the Kahanga, but I do not call him wrong. I'd be surprised if you haven't traded blood with them once or twice in the past. The tribe hates all foreigners. Passing ships are attacked on sight, and explorers never make it back to the beach.
You should know they think of me as an enemy.
I need allies, Watcher. For what do you bring me foul omens? We need to be stronger than this, I say. Ngati frowns on the Kahanga. This was a trial, a test of our fealty to the old ways. We failed her, I say. I will not fail her twice. A queen's work is not outdone by misfortune, and I am ready for her next trial. Prayer and the wisdom of Kohopa will help steer my next course. I will send for you in time.
Okay. Oh my god. So that's the cargo lady, the island there. Oh my god, I didn't do Adair. This was before Adair's quest. This was before the island quest. This was before Seraphine's quest. This was before we dealt with Ferrante's thing. Oh my god. This is way, 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 way back. I can't redo all that. Yeah, that's a big loss right there. That is not a small loss.
Tread cautiously.
Okay. To Google. Yeah, that's the exact same thing I was just looking at, Lycon. And I quote, theoretically, you can now repeat all the steps from Variant 1 that will lead to a meeting with Captain Kui. You can then use the opportunity to murder him, which is a fully optional mission goal, after all. Blah, 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 blah. Beaver McDeaver. It says vote, or voot more accurately. Okay, I'm just going to call this a bug. I've just read a couple of things here that I already had up. And by everything I'm reading, the slaves should be there. They're not. Like, regardless of everything. So we're just going to go ahead and call this is a bug, okay? So, the good news is it looks like I can actually progress through the quest gameplay-wise, mechanics-wise, without actually freeing the slaves. All I have to do is kill all the slavers. And that'll basically produce the same gameplay result as freeing the slaves. So we're going to headcanon this and say that the slaves were here, and that we freed them, and that we got them out. And I'll open the cells. I'll get the key, you know, I'll put the work in as if they were actually there. And then we will go kill all the slavers. Because I can literally tell you right now, they're not there. They would be in that room that I'm right next to.
Hey, let's talk this over.
So let's go kill all the slavers.
Could be a fight.
This is apparently the actual boss of this place right here, that guy. Go figure, huh? Let's see here.
How do you like that? You see that, Ishi?
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
I don't understand that phrase at all. Hmm? Sorry. So anywho, let's get the key to free the slaves that are definitely there. Hey, slaves that are here. Hi. Yes, listen. So, you're free. There's a woman outside, Seaful is her name. I even remember it. She's going to help you with skiffs to get you off the island. Once you're off the island, go ahead and find Adelis, or if you want, I would love to, if you would help me to get some evidence, like if anybody is willing to testify that you had been enslaved, let me know. You know, we'll go ahead and get that work out. And then, yeah, I was just about to do, like, the TNG, the beaming sound effect. And I give them a little bit of money. Is there a way to drop money on the ground? I will do that. I don't think there is there? Yeah, bugs. Bugs. Oh.
I got this.
Just checking. Yep, nope. There's definitely... We've definitely freed the slaves that are definitely here. Wink, wink. I was going to be irritated if there wasn't a way to gameplay a way around this. But there is. So this is just buggy, basically. Not the first bug, and not the last one we'll probably see. Let's see, what else? Oh, Platy, could you do me a favor? These slaves have probably been treated really badly. Now, obviously, they don't need too much sugar, but I think they could probably use, like, a treat, you know? Like, could you get something for them? Or, like, a meat pie. They could probably use the protein, you know? Actually, I agree with you, Cashel. So then, we kill everyone else.
How did you... Sounding the horns! We have a trespasser!
Hey, watch it with that.
This isn't how I usually work.
Nuh-uh, didn't work.
I love how they don't even say anything. They're just like, oh, you're an enemy now. Okay, sure.
I'll teach you a lesson.
They are, Zilog. I suppose there's just no accounting for insane slavers. They've been slaving for so long, they've lost their minds. That's what it is. I guess we'll loot them. Why not?
Challenge.
Tell me.
Loot. That was a decent chunk of change. In fact, I think...
Cautiously.
Whoops. Hang on. Oh, it doesn't show. Oh, well. Let's see, I think that was the 2,000 pyres I gave him. I could be wrong about that. So I got my money back. Not that I cared. Oh, no, that's the money. Oh, I should have left it, because that would have been the money that we give to the slaves then. Ah, well, whatever.
Got someone in sights.
Whatever. We gave the money. Headcanon reigns supreme.
Try this.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Can I ask you guys to do me a favor, by the way? I want you to look up something for me, please.
Consider it done.
I guess we should rob this place while we're here. I want to know basically a really good gold sword or saber. Because he needs a good weapon. He's using the Griffin's Blade right now, and he needs better than that. Now, if that is as good as it gets, that's fine. And I will finally start committing to upgrading it. But in the meantime... Oh, whoops. No, I'm still working on it, Zilog. Don't worry, I will. Nah. Stick with the other one, the Adra shield. Tank, saber or sword, like I said.
Can't get a clean hit.
And that's how it's done.
I believe him, Lycon. I do. I think you are right. I think that this is just an issue. And that, you know, the auction means the slaves just despawn. So, like I said, we're just gonna headcanon. We're just gonna headcanon this. I'm okay with headcanning this.
Challenge.
I mean, really, we were going to kill all these people anyways. It's not like that's anything new or different. Gotta go kill the ogre who was out here, who was rude to us. We all know I can't abide rudeness.
I shall deal with this one.
Didn't work.
Yeah, that's what you get for being rude. Don't be rude. Just don't. It's not cool. Yeah, this is a right proper warg right here.
This won't do.
Right on target.
Really, Cashel?
Looks like trouble.
I mean, I guess I'll take your word on it.
This isn't how I usually work. Try this.
Right between the eyes.
I shall deal with this.
That's what'll also happen to you if you're rude. Oh, hey, they closed the gate on me. Ha ha. Sorry, I'm just amused. well... We out of combat? We're out of combat. What do we got here? I'll look at that later. Thank you, Lycon.
We've got
I try not to swear in general, Council Hot. Except in Imperial, obviously. Oh, hey, there's our slave.
And then you...
He rubs the back of his neck, seemingly startled by the band of metal that brushes his palm.
I don't know how or why you killed them. But I do thank you.
You're free. Good luck and take care.
Truly? You mean it?
Yeah.
I can never thank you enough for such kindness. Gods, where should I go? I've nothing to my name but these clothes. And my freedom.
You could join my crew if you want. The work is pretty hard, but it is also fair, and I will pay you.
Thank you for the kindness, my lady.
Don't call me that.
Could be a fight.
Show him how it's done. That's how it's done.
So see, I think there's a few slavers left. Not quite done yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. There's a lot of slavers here to deal with. But I think this is our last bundle right here. Damn it, Zalok. Well, while they fight this, I'm going to look something up here. Swords. I guess so. But the gladiator sword is not that great. I mean, yeah, Cashel. These people are mega dead as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, I'm looking something up. Give me just a moment. Oh. Well, that sucks. So I found a sword that I'd like for Adair. It's dropped by Captain Attalus, the woman who I'm actually pretty good with and have no intention to kill. I'll have to work on a second best at some point. Any other any slavers down here? Hello, slavers. Are you a slaver? Okay.
What'll it be, madam?
Apparently nothing. How's our quests after that? Speak with Captain Aldous. I've dealt a blow to the slave operation. There you go. So the quest did update. Like I said. Assist Captain Ferrante. I mean... technically we assisted him.
You must gather your party before venturing.
We were his conscience. We reminded him of what kind of person he should be. Why is there always a storm by Fort Deadlight? Are you a slaver? I'm a conscience. Whoa, that's a Rawatayan armada. Clear skies and well done. We will see to the port's defenses. So, you may have not have noticed this, but I actually have a quest to go talk to Atsura. And the name of that quest is Clearing Out Crookspur. So... calm seas. Ugh, alright, fine. God damn it. That was them canceling my order. Is what that was. They said they had a technical issue and they advised me to try ordering from someone else. Which I can do, it's just... That was Grubhub specifically. Grubhub's usually good for these the cheaper options, which is what I wanted. Uber Eats tends to overcharge a little bit. Especially since they usually cater to restaurants, which is more expensive than what I want.
You're a fine sight for sore eyes, Captain. Good to see you again.
Hi.
What can I do you, Lovesome?
Crook Spur is a done deal.
Is that what you call it? Because I didn't send you just to battle and murder, Dove. I sent you to free the slaves.
Blame the game.
Though I'll admit I won't be mourning the Master's demise. And I do enjoy bleeding my enemies dry. I'll thank you for that much, at least.
I mean, if you're actually gonna yell at me for your problem, piss off. God damn it, that actually is irritating me. Anyways, that looks like a really good sword, Lycon. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that. The Alderus, whatever. What was that? The Alderus. It's not even on this list. There it is. It's in a dragon's hoard. I'm gonna have to find a dragon's hoard. There's no quests for it. There's just a dragon's hoard out there. Anyways.
Let's leave it at that for now, Lovesome. Maybe a time will come when we better see eye to eye.
I freed the... God damn, that's actually pissing me off.
Until then, you can trust that I'll be in touch when I need you.
If you're talking about the one in town, I've already dealt with that one, Sour Cookie. Which has a quest attached to it. No, this is a dragon. Hang on, it's Lair of the Ancient is the name of the location. It's apparently the home of Jeddaferlis the Ancient. I'm sorry. Between the slave thing and the fact that my food is no, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do now. Especially since it is now officially after the point in time in which I should have already ordered food. I'll just do this, whatever. That's the shit. Not okay. There is silver cookie? That sucks, because that means it's going to be a while then. Alright, let's go back to Nikitaga. Like you do. Sing me a song, man. I'm not in a good mood. Or don't. That's cool, too. Just picture me pulling out a pistol, hazardous, and shooting you. Just picture that. It's how they used to change songs back in the day. They just shot the person singing. I borrowed that joke.
It's impossible to cheat at Hazatoa.
He acts like he's gonna do one thing, then he does something else.
It has been brought to my attention that you ousted the slavers from Crooksburg.
Uh-huh.
You've done a noble thing.
He clasps you by the shoulders and tries out a warm smile. It almost looks real.
They had long been a thorn in our side, but one we were hesitant to remove on our own.
Thousands of people suffered because of them. Of course I did something.
Indeed. But the problem hardly begins or ends with the slavers.
Okay.
Deadfire is a troubled place, beset by all manner of predation and lawlessness.
Uh-huh.
Adventure stories blame it on the fury of Helia's storms and the hunger of Andra's beasts.
I mean, yeah, they're pretty responsible.
Historians like Maya's own dear brother would spin you a tale of isolation and trade booms.
He also said that sharing knowledge and sharing cannon fire were as different as birds and foxes.
All of that merely obscures the plain yet hard truth. The Huana lack the will to defend their homeland.
How do you figure? He stops and looks at you for the first time since hearing your explanation. He's recovering himself and waiting for your reaction.
Allow me to illustrate.
He clears his throat.
2,000 years ago, our people began the conquest of Rawatai. The land was new to us. Many of its inhabitants were better equipped. But we overcame them. We were unified where they were scattered. And we were not content to huddle in cliff caves and subsist. We were determined to make a better life for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going with this?
The Valians and the Principe will tear Deadfire asunder, and the Huana will stand by and let it happen.
Okay.
So, we must do everything we can to defend the archipelago and its people.
Uh-huh. Go on.
We shall ensure that the slavers do not return by stationing one of our most elite fleets at Crooksburg.
You're going to move an entire fleet to keep out slaves. He silences for several seconds, calculating, and then at last he smiles slowly.
I think we should continue to focus on how we might help each other, don't you?
I really like how well written, how this character is both written and acted. I would probably despise him in real life, but as a character, he's fantastic. By the way, hi, Aleph, and hi, Araniki. You missed me being legitimately upset at this game. I didn't give a negative for it, but it pissed me off.
And by continuing to work together, we can achieve both our objectives. A more stable Deadfire, and a meeting with Aothas. In any case, our attentions are now focused on Sayuka for now. I'm sure the Hazanui will summon you when the time is right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Farewell.
That's called strategy. And don't you work for Atsura?
Nope. Suddenly Jyoti's like, you know. Yeah, he is a very interesting and excellent character. He's probably one of my favorite characters so far, and I mean that sincerely. I don't remember. Console out. Hang on. Let me look that up real quick. What are my options? See, what's funny is I did his quest. I'm almost positive, but I don't remember how I went with that. I didn't know he was Maya's older brother. Good night, Adam. Have a good one. I don't remember what I did with him, but obviously he didn't show up, so whatever. How are our reps doing right now, just out of curiosity? We're at 4 with the Principe, 3 with the Valians, 3 with the Deadfires, 3 with Nekataka, 2 with Juana. Yeah, I think you're right, Console Out. I'm doing good with Adair. Kind of doing okay with Jyoti. How about Jyoti? How's she doing? She's at 1 with Maya. And Maya is not 1 back. Dang. Oh, whatever. Yeah, the people we are basically politically banished from. What's funny is, obviously they're upset, and they have reason to be upset, but what I find hysterical about that is deliberately trying to...
The Hazanui runs a tight ship. Do you ever disagree with orders?
Naturally. And I bark about it until the boss tells me to stand down.
You Rowatarians aren't much for passive aggression, are you?
The, like, politically speaking, her ostracizing me was probably not a good move. I get that she was upset, and I did deliberately do something that was against her best interests. But still. Her political interests, I should say. Actually, wait. So, that's a wait. So, yeah, we have the mage quest to do, and then we could go do the main quest. So, let's go do the mage quest. A minor trifoliander. Uh-oh. Here we go. I'm ready. A confusing network of natural and kith-hewn tunnels run between the Brass Citadel and the Gullet. Most of the larger thoroughfares are well-traveled and familiar, but the narrower branches that spread between them are a confusing muddle of twisting halls and dead ends. A tunnel along your path has collapsed. A giant rock, it's a new immovable door. Laborers mill about it, but there's little actual labor occurring. What's going on here? The Raparu mutter amongst themselves, but grow quiet and avert their gaze at your approach. The Kuaru foreman glances up from a slat of palm in his hand. Greetings, noble watcher. We work to finish this tunnel, but for now the way is closed. The servants of Nekataka always apologize for any difficulty or delay. I mean, what happened? Surely you felt it, Akera. A great dragon went and flew over the island. The Kuara frowns at the speaker and waves his Amua off. You go be quiet. He returns his attention to you. They know better than to blunt their teeth at their betters. The servants of Nekataka always apologize for any inhospitality or offense. Maybe I could try to help? But Watcher, the city has given us this task. We stay working. You need not lift your fingers. Let's see if we have anyone with the might to do this. We probably don't. But we do. Adair organizes the work, but accepts the brunt of the heavy lifting. Soon the massive stone growls over the smaller rocks beneath it, powdering each one with a satisfying crunch. The tunnel entrance howls softly as the winds begin to carry it through once more. One of the workers cheer, but the foreman slaps him upside the head. A musty wind whistles through your face, a seaborne stench on its breath, bearing a bleeding clamor from the darkness, a cacophony of mindless chittering and chirping. For a moment you think you hear someone snapping their fingers. The shadow before you split and twist erratically, congregating and dissolving again, before resolving into a bedlam of leathery wings. Take home his new home. Tears a shrill voice before you. Leave! They flock towards you. And I guess we have a combat. It's okay, it was the right hand. We're cool, Aleph. We're cool.
Right between the eyes.
Not very
That sounds pretty good, Lycon. And you say I get it from a quest from Aldi's, which is phenomenal. I kind of intend to keep working with her anyways, and end slavery and kill Ferrante, so I'm with it.
Oh, hell.
I got this.
So I guess I'll just have to endure for a bit with what I got, and then I'll upgrade that sucker once I get it. Yeah, we're doing fine on supplies. Oh, she does upon a time. Violent? Sure. Coarse? Crude? Yeah. But easily a better person than, say, Ferrante. Which is admittedly not saying much. Okay, hang on. Sing us a song, Gunhaver. Sorry. Don't worry, I'm sure I'll end up killing her anyways. Because she's evil or something, I don't know. There's always more evil in the sea, right? Actually, it's not true, but... Ferrante is definitely more, fake civilized, I'd say. But I don't think he's actually more civilized. That could, of course, be argued. But, like, every time we see him talk about, like, he's very polite, he's very, you know, yes, of course, you know, very civilized around us, which is good, and I do appreciate that quite a bit. But we also get hints and pieces of how he runs his crew and his ship and his operations, you know, not around us, and that's just as blunt and horrible as, you know, anyone else, right? Let's go ahead and get a regular save in here. Let's just start doing that periodically. I agree with that upon a time. I really get some serious Mafia vibes from him. And for all the ups and downs of the Mafia, it's pretty worth noting that the Mafia was really horrible in many ways. Like, brutally, viciously violent. Like, absolutely horrific ways of brutalizing, killing, and terrorizing. And that sounds like Ferrante, doesn't it? No voice acting? Look harder at the words, not just the pictures. But yeah, I like the honesty of Elitis, and she's anti-slavery, and Ferrante is pro-slavery. And really, at the end of the day, that's actually all I really need to know. I mean, honestly.
There's no need for
Kind of stuck over here.
God, really.
that dog won't.
Now that being said, obviously I don't.
Say your prayers.
I don't know how to phrase this. Basically, I'm not trying to say Aletis is a good person by any stretch of the imagination. Just want to make that very clear. Trouble. Why are these all named people, and why are they attacking me on sight? What did I do to you? Anyways, but I do think I could have an easier time dealing with her than, dealing with Ferrante. I don't know, Black Vial. Like, these are people who are here after some research that the mage sent me after. But I don't know what the research is, and I don't know why these people are after it. I also don't know why they attacked me on sight.
That was about as useful.
Yeah, exactly, Lycon. A definite, yes, lesser of two evils kind of situation. I don't blame you, Bragwin. Sisonite, yeah. No spoilers, no mentions, but yeah. What do you have on? Oh, you have the Stone of Power. Let's give it to... you. Oh, I agree with that, Aleph. No, I really do. And I get the same exact vibe, even without knowing the backstory of him being an ex-noble. So, I'm with you. And I totally understand that.
Consider it done.
Slaves. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that sounds so stupid, but that is a hell of a hard line for me. And, you know. Now, what wouldn't surprise me, considering that this is an Obsidian game, is if there's some way to basically be like, alright, look, no more slavery, Ferrante. I'll help you, but no more slavery. And he would be like, okay. That'd be kind of cool, if that was an option. However, near as I can tell, it is not. Because because I was reading up on the quest I just did, the one that pissed me off, and it made it very clear that it was a very binary choice. You either support Aldis and take out the slaves, or you support Ferrante and don't. Oh gosh, I forgot the name of it now. Hang on, let me look it up real quick, because I might still have it up. I do. The name of the quest is A Shrewd Proposition. And yeah, it's how to deal with Crookspur. That is correct. And I'm sorry I didn't answer you, Lycon. Don't tell me the quest name. As long as it's an Aldi's quest, I'll probably get it eventually. I may have to seek her out, but I imagine she'll send me a message over time. Okay. Hey guys, who's ready to fall asleep? Which quest, Aleph? Now I'm confused. What, you mean like the library? Yeah. Or do you mean the quest log, which I'm not super impressed with either. Yeah, we're done with that, Aleph. We're done. We have completed that quest.
A marvel. I could spend days studying this. I don't suppose that's the plan.
I mean, tempting. Well, there's Console Hot. Wait a minute.
I got this. I got this.
If you're reading this, you've forgotten again. Your blasted mind. You blasted your mind to bits trying to describe Bakarna's clarity of thought. I'm sorry. Never doubt yourself. Your years of research were well spent, even if no one called you Archmage at the end of them. Even if they laughed. I know you remember the legend of your favorite Hwan constellation, the Huntress. When you need a little confidence, set the coordinates of the Huntress and the 3 stages of her tail into this orrery. You can do more with half a brain than most competent wizards, so get back to work. Love, Bakarna.
If I don't survive our adventures, promise me you'll burn all my books.
Give me a real challenge.
Alright. Well, let's go talk to Console Hot. And kill him instantly. No, I'm kidding. A skeletal figure clutches a scrawl. And in both of his gnarled hands, his skin crinkles like old parchment. With every movement pulls to the point of nearly tearing. He glances up, his eyes burning and severe in their intensity.
I trust that you didn't come to stargaze.
I mean, if there's time.
Then you've come to distract me, which is more dangerous by far. I am Undeath, the shudder before the final gasp, the bone sanctuary of 1,000 tomes. I am Concelhort.
Oh, hey, I've been pronouncing it correctly.
If the Circle sent you to interrupt my research, I'll fashion a scarecrow of your remains to deter their next hapless victim.
Actually, Akamir sent me. I suppose we're after the same thing?
All a matter of perspective. The same thing, perhaps. But the Circle wants only knowledge. I desire the power it represents.
Go on.
They are fools to delude themselves into thinking they want otherwise.
Krennic. Upon a time. I call that a Krennic character. K-R-E-N-N-I-C, I believe. What's your interest in the observatory?
That arcane upstart Bakarna might not have been as unhinged as we once assumed. The Circle discounted her theories about a deep well of power in the Deadfire. All that changed when I felt its pulse. Your presence tells me that the Circle has felt it too.
You wouldn't be here if you found what you were seeking.
How astute. Now, if you're finished dissecting my academic setbacks, I am a rather busy lick.
I'm sorry, pronounce that again? Oh! Okay. I thought we were still talking, but, I mean, sure, yeah, I'll kill you. I was trying to talk, Console Hot, but apparently that's not on the menu. He's kind of high level. But once we manage to push through here... Yeah, Lich.
I'll teach you a lesson.
Stop standing in the goop, you morons. I know, I don't think I've ever actually heard it pronounced that way, though, Leander.
How do you like that?
Although I have heard it pronounced Lish. I've heard Lich, and I've heard Lish. But never Lick. Oh, time to kill Console Haunt. Sorry! I feel bad, really. I just wanted a conversation.
You were saying?
Wait. Is your skull, like, made of candy or something? Lick King, yeah, no. Let's not have that happen.
I'll teach you a
Come
lesson.
now, step into the light.
So that's how it's gonna go. Try this.
I'm having some trouble moving through this. This is futile.
Get some help, don't you? Yeah, the Lish King, you know, you can kind of hear that. Although, usually I hear it pronounced Lish when Lich is the second word, not the first. So, Lich King, or whatever. Whoop. But, on the other side, it's like an Ebony Lish, for example. Or a Frost Lish. Wow, we are getting wrecked up here. Council Hawk, could you do me a favor and stop killing me as badly? I'd appreciate it, thanks.
That's not very helpful.
Really? Right here.
No can do.
And we're dead.
How do you like that?
I'm totally touching the skull now.
That's gonna leave a scar.
Might as well be hitting the
The
wall.
Lick King of Vegas. I don't know. Oh, hey, his shield finally wore off. So many of us are not doing any damage because we can't get through his armor. Oh, well.
Kinda stuck over here. This is futile.
Right between the eyes.
I'll get the next one.
Is he dead? Hey, there's a skull. It's a pet. Bonus to corrode damage, and summon a ghostly visage of Console Hot.
Leave it to me.
Well, I guess you're stuck with the party now. Now he's just floating around. He's so cute. Welcome to the Crow, lad. As long as you're not a demi-lich. You're not a demi-lich, right? Because those are terrifying. Hang on, so where's that grimoire? That's not a grimoire. Although, I'll put that on. Where did the grimoire go? Is that it? Consulhat's corrosive skin. The target's own skin eats away at them, dealing large amounts of corrode damage over time and weakening them, preventing healing. Consulhat's Crushing Doom. A truly unique spell, Consulhat's Crushing Doom summons an enormous magical hammer that repeatedly slams into the target, doing crush damage and knocking them prone. The more the hammer strikes, the larger, more accurate, and more damaging each time. Consulhat's Corrosive Siphon. Consulhat's Draining Missile. Consulhat's Parasitic Staff. Yeah, hey, I got a book for you, Aloth. It's all yours, buddy.
I'm honored.
Of course, I'm gonna have to set up his AI to actually take that into account. So let's wait. No, wrong button. No, that is the right button. Wait until nighttime.
Next time, I will secure a body that lasts.
Shush. Whale? Well, you're looking around. Try not to think too hard about what's up here. Some secrets are worth keeping.
You look like you could use some fresh air.
Yeah, let's not think too much about space. That's when Outer Worlds happens.
Give me a real challenge.
Oh, right. I have to actually read it. I thought I already looted everything, so I should have all 4 parts of the story now. But I don't. Great. Of course I don't.
Watch and learn.
Even in death, he mocks me. Why do you mock me? I thought we were friends. That's why you attacked me on sight. Whoops.
I heard you.
That looks complicated.
What do you want me to do, game? Guess I missed something.
You were saying?
Somewhere. Oh, there's one. I missed one right there. That's funny. I was just looting this place just out of habit. Would you stop following me around, Consulate? It's kind of creepy. Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, what else we got? Anything over here? Or down here?
He will not go unanswered.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
We here.
There we go, the Leviathan. Okay. Now, can I do stuff? Alright, guys, do you think we should tie a stone to him and toss him in the water? Or find some place, like, really deep and bury him? Or toss him into the lava? What do you think is a good option to deal with a Lich head? I'm just wondering. Like, I don't need to do that yet, but I mean, you know, I'm kind of leaning that way. That's a good point. We should give him to Adair as a pet. No. We'll, like, give him to... No, I don't want to do that. I was to say we could donate him to a school or something. There we go. So we have 3 moons left? Or do we have 2 moons left after, you know, the last one?
I got this. I got this.
That is a nice wand. The stars are either dead zones or my instruments lack refinement. Shouting over their energy signature is a concentration of soul essence moving through the dead fire, enough to justifiably be called a river. Oddly, it seems to pick up speed where it veers off to the northeast, as if drawn into a whirlpool. What is this region hiding that can exert such a tug on reincarnation? Picarna, you're in way over your head. Well, I guess that's why he was interested in this. Listen, Consulate, why don't we make a deal? Like, I'm a reasonable sort. I mean, you did attack me. Remember, I opened up with conversation. I just wanted to chat. And you're like, oh, I'm going to kill you because I'm Consulate. So, let's be reasonable, shall we? I won't do horrible, horrible things to your skull, like seeing how well you can withstand molten lava. And you just go your own separate way, and we just kind of walk away from this one. How's that sound? I mean... Cool? Oops. That's true. That's true, Vigilant. I wonder what a skull does look like with cat ears. Here, hold still, Consulate. Let me just kind of put one here and then hold still. Give some. Can I get some? Adair, give me some glue. There we go. There we go. I'll just hold it here for a few seconds. Hold still. I think he looks cute with the cat ears. We need to get like a cat nose. Like he's got just that cavity there. Just put a thing there.
This cannot last, you know.
Blah, blah, blah.
If you require directions to Picarna's observatory, look to your sextant.
So I found an old almanac.
You did you? That does rather defeat the purpose of absolution. So be it. Follow me down to the scrying pool.
Okay. Why? Okay. Well, if it's...
You. Master waits for you by glowing pool downstairs.
Thanks. I'm not sure why you didn't just port me down there, game. It's not like you can't do that. Weird. But whatever. I can't actually feed you candied nuts. I'm actually out of them. See, there's this pirate lady. And, there's apparently no sugar. Like, on this frickin' archipelago. I have not been able to find sugar. I'm starting to think it actually doesn't exist. It has to be imported. Which one of these is the scrying pool? Is that it? That might be it. Or this is it. Hi. Okay, I dip my face in the water. No sooner does my skin break the surface than I feel a breeze of warm air. I'm peering into a stone chamber ringed with braziers and tapestries as you would an open window. Robed men and women clutch the armrests of their thrones. Water drips down your chin. The other Archmagi seem, for the moment, to be unfazed by your presence. An Amawa folds her arms and stares down another woman who keeps her fist balled at her side. Ooze drips from the sleeves of the Amawa's robe and pulls at the floor. You mistake the matter, Kalikoth. My curiosity and perusal are not endorsement of her research. Bacana won't suddenly be vindicated by the likes of us having simply read her work. Something green and twisted wriggles under the table. Kalikoth points down and a flash of light incinerates it on the spot, filling the room with the stench of overcooked snails. You're a slippery fiend, Amara. Some of us refuse to taint our reason with the half-wit conclusions of circle rejects and keep the slugs to yourself. That'll be enough out of you two. Arkemir looms over your shoulder and addresses the room. Mara, your pets can wait outside. Arkemir waits patiently as Mara makes a shooing gesture. A wet, slurping sound echoes in the hall and something dark and large makes its way towards an exit. Give me a second, Disco. If you're ready to speak rationally, our patience is about to be rewarded. I bid greetings. Ah, an echo of manners for a change. Arkemir, you've had your eyes on the Deadfire for some time. Is this gathering necessary? Did you not ask me the same question last week? That was an acolyte of Lengroth. The real one sits before you at present, but one is as good as another. This posturing is without value or reason. Get on with it, old man. I was about to do exactly that. Bacana was no Archmage, but we all agree that she was on the cusp of a breakthrough before her unfortunate disappearance. Be that as it may, someone did not wish for this breakthrough to occur. For that alone, we have good reason to seek knowledge of her amateurish, if enthusiastic, research. I'm sorry, you have a culprit in mind? When several gazes turn to you and several mouths open to speak up, Arkemir silences them in turn with a loud clearing of his throat. It would seem she arrived at one of our conclusions. A river of soul energy flows through the Deadfire. And yet she traced the path of river while we only speculated on its existence. Where does it go? Where it goes is not my immediate concern. I am occupied by who presently follows it. The path of Aethos is winding, but unerringly intentional. I think we've all taken more than our share of the Watcher's time, unless there are any final questions. Can I join the circle? What can you do? I can turn into a bear and punch things really hard. Oh, and I killed Consulhat. Killed. You know, he's right here. Why was Consulhat so interested in this? Are you keeping secrets from us, old man? This is the first I'm hearing of it. It wasn't of immediate pertinence. Besides, Consul Hot has been dispatched yet again, esteemed mistress of missiles. Your flattery has gone stale. To address the Watcher, I imagine Consul Hot wished to sustain his wicked existence on a font of essence, but you kindly put a stop to that. You're welcome. Here, baubles for your service, not that you deserve them. Consider your debt repaid with interest. Archimere turns back to the circle and pointedly ignores you. Oh wow, that's a hell of a grimoire. Not as good as Consul Hot's, which is truly the best of all grimoires. Yeah, we're done. We did it. We cleared out the quest log. Except for the quest that we're waiting on. The other quest we're waiting on. And the main quest. So that means it's time to go ahead and chop off the local recording. So for those of you on YouTube, I will see you in either a few seconds when you hit the next video, a day when the next video goes live, or an hour if you're watching this live. Or I'll see you this very second, Zorian.